800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Cal State University Bakersfield makes their decision. I'm Chris Davis, and they've decided to help boost their program with the hiring of Todd Lee as the next head men's basketball coach. He's got a career-winning record of 220-133 and has been coaching for 30 years, even helping CSUB win a championship in 1994. The program has some repair work to do. Its rep has taken a hit this year with the arrest of an assistant coach on pimping and pornography charges. Todd Reyes has a lot of prison time to serve for what he did back on January 5th, 2021, when he was involved in a wreck at the intersection of Custer Avenue and South H Street in Bakersfield. It's not the wreck that has earned him a 7 years to life sentence plus 4 years, but what he did afterward, following a mother and a daughter who witnessed the wreck and shooting at them with a bullet going in the car and nearly hitting the daughter. It was in Tehachapi that 33-year-old Victor Farias was captured Thursday. Detectives from Bakersfield went there and picked him up to face charges of homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, child abuse, and domestic violence. That's in the Wednesday killing of a woman during a domestic incident at a house on College Avenue, after which Farias fled and wrecked and abandoned his car in Tehachapi. In about 3 months, the shops at Riverwalk on Stockdale Highway will have a couple of new stores, which some people consider upscale. They are Lululemon Athletic Wear and J. Crew, according to the owner of that strip mall. A new building is being built there to house those stores. The average price for gas across the country is down a penny over the past day, but it's still at $5.83 in California, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get up close like this. Little thing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Friday. We made it. I got a great weekend ahead of me. I'll probably tell you about it at some point. And had a weird night. I'll explain that in just a second. There was good news, and then there was bad news, then there was good news, and then there was bad news. And I got a text message, Chris Burdick. Got a very important text message last night.
About?
No, from whom should be the question. Do you know? Just answer yes or no.
Okay.
Don't blow the bit. Because clearly this is a bit. Do you know who Kevin Sampson is?
No.
Okay, good. Well, I got a text. Well, I might as well read it now then. I got a text from Kevin Sampson last night. Here's what it says. Dear Mr. Bailey, for me, my coaching staff, my players, the administrators, the faculty, the students, and the alumni would ask a small favor of you, sir. Would you please, in the year 2027, when March Madness rolls around again, could you please not utter the words the University of Houston in your brackets, please? We've heard about you. Serena Williams has explained it to us, and we would appreciate if you would not mention the University of Houston. Furthermore, I understand that you may be coming to Texas soon. I don't think that's a very good idea. Signed, Kevin Sampson, head coach, University of Houston Cougars. The mush has struck again.
I told you.
What do you mean you told me?
I told you exactly how this
you
was
haven't
going to
gone to the Final Four.
I know, but I told you exactly how this was going to go the minute you said that you had them in the final. I told you that they were going to make it all the way to the Sweet 16 or the Elite Eight, and then they would fall on their face.
And I called it yesterday. I said if we got by Illinois, but I don't think we're going to get by Illinois, but I thought if we got by Illinois with Florida out, who we would have played? Iowa?
Yes.
We would have ultimately had to have beaten Duke, so we probably wouldn't have won anyway.
Well, no, that's not true. Duke could lose tonight. We're going to get past Rick Pitino and St. John's.
Yeah, I don't think so. I like Duke. I think it's all chalk from here on in. And I even thought Arizona wasn't going to be that good, and apparently they are.
They are rolling.
Yeah, they are rolling. They really are rolling. But I am delaying. I am procrastinating. And let me make a quick point. And I don't mean to be condescending. I really don't. Honest to God, I really, really don't. But, and this is to my friends. Don't you guys know what I do from 7 a.m. to literally up until I get into the shower to come to work? All I do all morning long is try to accumulate news. I got 6 text messages regarding Tiger Woods. And I just felt like texting everybody. In fact, one person I did, what? Really? Are you serious? As if I didn't know. And it's just really unfortunate. Nick Ragone is going to join us at 4:30. But Mr. Woods apparently has been arrested again for a DUI incident in Florida, in Jupiter. And it was at 1:30 in the afternoon. So he's on the phone. But I haven't seen any details. In fact, I was going to read this. In fact, I should just read the story now. What I have on this, please stand by. It's going to be tough for him to bounce back from this. It really, really is. But this is according to ESPN. Let me just read this to you. Tiger Woods showed signs of impairment and was arrested Friday at the scene of a car crash in which he struck another vehicle and rolled his Land Rover, authorities said. So this is why it's going to be difficult for him to get over this, because the 2 DUIs that he has, one, he was completely out of it. They're going to bring up that video. There's a video of him wandering around. He thought he was in Los Angeles. I believe he was in Orlando at the time. And this involved where he could have killed somebody or himself. This wasn't just a simple DUI. He struck another vehicle. And I find it hard to believe. I really haven't even read this story, to be honest with you. I find it hard to believe that it's liquor at 1:30 in the afternoon. I think a guy who's gone through 7 back surgeries and what, I think 14, 15 other surgeries, he's got a pill problem. I think he pops pain pills, but let's get through this story. Martin County Sheriff John Badunsick, who we have audio from, we're going to hear in just a second, said Woods and the person in the other vehicle were not injured. Woods was able to crawl out of the passenger side of his Land Rover. The crash occurred just after 2 p.m., not far from where Woods lives on Jupiter Island. Badunsick said Woods attempted to pass a pressure cleaner truck while driving on a 2-lane road. He swerved to avoid a collision as he was passing the truck, but clipped the back end of the truck's trailer. Woods' vehicle then rolled onto his driver's side. Here is Sheriff John Badunsick.
The individual driving that Land Rover was able to crawl out the passenger door of the car and was identified to be Mr. Tiger Woods. Our DUI investigators came to the scene here, and Mr. Woods did exemplify signs of impairment. They did several tests on him. Of course, he did explain the injuries and the surgeries that he had. We did take that into account, but they did do some in-depth roadside tests. And when it was determined, he was placed under arrest and taken to the Martin County Jail. At the Martin County Jail, and even on scene, we really weren't suspicious of alcohol being involved in this case, and that proved to be true at the jail. So Mr. Woods did a breathalyzer test, blew 000s, but when it came time for us to ask for a urinalysis test, he refused, and so he's been charged with DUI, with property damage, and refusal to submit to a lawful test. In the crash, no one was injured. Mr. Woods did not seem to be injured at all, and the other gentlemen were not injured.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Did you listen to that? Did you know that he was on pills? I didn't know that.
Which, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, with all the surgeries and stuff he's going through. And
Well, I knew it couldn't be booze at 1:30 in the afternoon. No, not even Tiger's getting crap.
Well, I would assume even if, I mean, he's old and past. He's older and past that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that's part
Day
of
drinking is not in his forte.
I wouldn't think so.
And his first DUI, he wasn't drunk. He was on pills then. He's not a drinker. He's just a guy whose body is ravaged, and he's got a pill problem. And I think he's going to have to go to rehab his standing in life. The fact that he didn't take the urine test, I think, speaks volumes. And now he's not going to be able to drive for a year. Not that that's a problem, because I don't think Charlie, Sam, Mrs. Trump, or JT, or any of his close friends are going to be like, dude, no, I've hired you a driver. You know, somebody close to him has to hire him a driver.
I've said that so many times. Just hire a driver.
I mean, I've said that about celebrities forever.
Yeah.
But they all got to look nice in their Lamborghinis. They all got to speed, and they just hire a childhood friend, although all of Woods' childhood friends are rich. But go back to Cyprus, where you grew up, and find some buddy of yours who's, making $60,000 a year, and give him $150,000 and tell him to drive you wherever you want, whatever you want, at any time.
Your kids' friends.
Yeah, exactly. Hire one of Charlie's pals.
Was Charlie
17. Yeah, Charlie's about to be a senior.
Oh, is he really? Oh,
Yeah, he's a junior.
Charlie's friends.
I mean, it's just
Charlie himself.
It's just such a bad time when everybody was thinking, the big discussion with Tiger was whether he was going to play the Masters. And they're going to light him up, because I was reading last night. You should read on Facebook or wherever I was reading what they're saying about him trying to go back to the Masters. They're like, dude, you're old, you're 50, just get in a cart and play on the Champions Tour. Don't go back to Augusta, just go visit, go to the dinner, and just ragging him. Now they're going to tear him up, because his history, I mean, let's go through it. There was the 2009 7-iron. Remember that? When Elin took a 7-iron to his chops, and then he was trying to escape her, and coming down the driveway was long. I don't think they were in Jupiter back then. I think they were in Southern Florida. And he wrapped his car around a tree. I think it was on his property or just outside the property.
Yeah, he didn't get far.
No, not at all.
She was chasing him out of the house.
After she had hit him in the face with a 7-iron.
Yeah.
That's what I've always respected Elin.
That's why I'm like, I don't know if we can really wrap that up to a DUI, but that is a car trouble related issue. So
And he was high as a kite. He was high that night.
Was he high that night?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was on pills that night.
I think he was injured.
Yeah. And then, of course, there was the 2017 incident where he was high on pain pills again and had no clue where he was. Thought he was in Los Angeles. Literally thought he was in L.A. And you'll see that. They're going to bring that up, Jack. You'll see that video. You can bet on it. And then, of course, there was the incident in my old neighborhood on the peninsula out at Rancho Palos Verdes coming down Hawthorne Boulevard, which I have traveled countless times. And if you've ever been to either Rancho PV or Rolling Hills or anywhere up there, going to Trump's golf course, the public course that I used to play, which is a beautiful course, Los Verdes golf course. You can see Catalina on one of the par threes. It's a beautiful golf course. And if you've ever traveled down Hawthorne Boulevard, you know how dangerous it is, because it's a straight downhill shot and it winds, and there's a big turn. And I haven't confirmed this because I haven't been back there in forever, but I'm pretty sure that's where it occurred. It's like an S. When you're coming down Hawthorne Boulevard, you go hard left, and then you come back hard right. And I think that's where he lost it and fell off the side. And he definitely lost his leg then. Now, he wasn't a high, as far as we know. I think he was on his way to Trump's place for a photo shoot with like Drew Brees and somebody else, a couple of NFL football players. And now this situation. So I would not, I think you're going to see, there are going to be two things that Tiger and I have in common. We've both been popped for DUI, and we're both going to grow old not driving. Because if this fool gets into a car after all this, I mean, what is this? Is 1, 2, 3, 4th incident in a vehicle?
I wouldn't even let him drive the cart.
Wouldn't that be funny if he got on the Champions Tour and his caddy drove?
That would be actually
That would be
funny.
on his first tournament. That's what he should do. Like, I ain't driving. Oh, shoot.
Oh, what he does is
Go ahead,
he gets
Joey.
the 3-seat caddy, and his driver for the car is also his driver for the cart.
Right. And his caddy walks, or he sits in the back. I don't know. It's not funny because he could have hurt himself and obviously could have hurt somebody else. And it's just sad. And as I said, our good friend Nick Ragone. I guess we'll take some time and preview the Masters, which is in, a week or two, and obviously talk about this situation with Tiger. All right, let's go ahead and take our first break. We've got a busy show this afternoon. We'll come on and talk about the TSA situation. Mike Johnson is holding steady. The Senate passed on a voice vote the ability to fund TSA and get this thing over with so we can fly comfortably. And yet the House said no. What? What's wrong?
We're getting text messages as well. It's Kelvin Sampson, not Kevin Sampson.
So I can go to Texas. It wasn't the Houston coach that texted me. It was just some guy named Kevin. Whew! Man, as I said, it was a weird night. I got home and Dodgers are down 2-0 and I speed through it and we put up some numbers. And then I'm like, all right, because I DVR. So let me go check on the Houston game. Down 14. I'm done with that. Then I get a phone call. And I found out last night, I will not die a poor man. I can't get into it, and I probably will. But I know for a fact I will not be eating top ramen in my 70s. Very happy about that. And then I had to make the Texas call. And that did not go well.
Didn't think it would.
She was not, I'll tell you about it later. She was not happy. I was shocked. Isn't that a good thing that she's mad that I'm not coming?
Kinda, yeah.
I guess it's a good thing, but no, it's not a good thing because now she's erased me off the card.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Women.
You got booted the minute you said maybe not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because she was pissed when she picked up the phone because I told her the other night I'm contemplating. And she's like, see, that was your problem when we didn't live together. We were in the same city. You just don't take it seriously. Not coming to Corpus Christi.
Commitment, Ralph.
And Jeff Salters is going to join us at 4 o'clock. They've got an event going on with the Portrait of a Warrior tomorrow. Their wonderful gallery. And Lizette Gomez will join us, I believe, via the Rogers Brandon Global Telephone Network. The Bakersfield Women's Conference is coming up next month. They want to pump that up as well. And the JFK Carolyn Bessette special ended last night. We'll talk about that, I think, with Mr. Bentley. I believe he's seen it. It's a busy show on this Friday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m.
$500,000 for a building that is burned down 23 times in the last year, and it only makes me ask, why the hell haven't we just let this thing burn down to the ground already? And then the internet is great as it is. The comment says, I hope the person that reports this fire didn't call 911.
Weekdays at 2 p.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's that man again for Sangera Subaru and the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now through March 31st at Sangera Subaru. And of course, spring is the best time to get an incredible offer on that new Subaru you've been waiting for, like a 2026 Forester CVT. Lease one now for only $179 a month for 36 months and just $5,000 due at signing. And remember, every Subaru always comes standard with symmetrical all-wheel drive. And don't forget, this offer ends March 31st. So stop by and see my good friends Damon Culbertson, Hassan Levy, and all the guys during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Pick out your new Subaru for spring and hit the open road. Sangera Subaru, paving the way for a better community at 5500 Gasoline Alley Drive in the Bakersville Auto Mall, 24/7 at sangerasubaru.com. Mercedes.com.
Through March 31st, 2026, lease a 2026 Forester CVT for $179 a month on a 36-month lease. $5,000 due at lease signing plus tax and license. Zero security deposit. 7,500 mile year limit. 15 cent per mile overage. MSRP $32,183. VIN number T3030467. Model code TFB-01.
Last week, there was a Paul Sheldon sighting. Kind of rare and very exciting. Everyone asking, where is he?
Well, I had to, but you explained the first one. So
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no second one.
There's Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. The grandkids like to play, Where's Waldo? Granddad's asking, hey, where'd Paul go? Just games that are fun to win. But when push comes to shove and the day is done, we know it's covered, so it's all in fun. Because there's Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. Over the years, so many have said it. The guy's a genius. Gotta give the man credit. He put it together way back then. Brought along those 3 Medicare pros, who of course by now everyone knows are Christine, Kelly, and Lynn.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Get ready for the 11th annual Mac and Cheese Fest, happening Saturday, May 9th at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 2 to 6 p.m. This year's event is going to be bigger and better than ever. Enjoy endless servings of mac and cheese, along with refreshing beers, spiked seltzers, cocktails, and live music. Tickets are on sale now. For more information and to grab your tickets, visit BakersfieldMacandCheeseFest.com. Happening Saturday, May 9th at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 2 to 6 p.m.
This event benefits the Bakersfield Ronald McDonald House.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm. We got you.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
La, 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 la. Did you take communications law?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Wally.
Ask Mr. Bentley. Did he take communications law? You studied that in college?
He didn't major in journalism.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Well, I'll find out in a few minutes.
He said he was an English major.
Wow, I did not know that. That's a smart play. I was an English minor. I could have been a double major if I had taken 2 more women's lit classes, but I couldn't take it.
I got a life science minor, but that's just because of all the other stuff I did at the time.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, ladies. I just couldn't handle women's lit. On Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. I couldn't handle it. I just wondered. I know I studied communications law, explaining the vast and enormous responsibility it is to write for a newspaper or talk on television or talk on a radio station. And you have to understand comm law to do this, what you can say, what you can't say, and how it can get you into trouble legally, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not certain everybody understands that. The Senate agreed to pay TSA agents. Thought we had a deal. It was unanimous. It was by a voice vote at like 3 o'clock in the morning in the district. And somehow Mike Johnson is saying no. And to compound this, most of the senators, there's an old phrase, you've heard me use it. There's nothing that speeds up a vote than the smell of airplane gasoline, air fuel. And yet this didn't stop these guys. The Senate made a vote. They got on planes and they're all gone. They're gone for Easter break. They're gone for 2 weeks. Legislators work less than teachers, for God's sakes. So it appears that the president may be forced to make an executive order to get these TSA people paid. The sit-out rate now at some of the biggest airports in the country, like Hartsfield, Jackson in Atlanta, is up to 40%. And these lines, I'm familiar with Baltimore International because that's where Honor Flight flies into. And we have a group of about let's say, average 150 people. And when we line up for TSA, it's a long line that starts at TSA and goes down to where the ticket people are. Well, I saw a live shot today where it was going out the door where the line for TSA was starting at the curb outside of the airport, which if you've ever been to BWI, that's a hell of a long line. And you haven't even made it to TSA. You're not even in the airport yet. And yet these guys cannot get this thing done. And, I've told you how to fix this thing. I told you how to fix it. Whenever there is one of these shutdowns, make sure that the Congress doesn't get paid, and we'll clean this up. Finally, Delta did something to that effect. All the little perks that Congress members get, both houses, that's gone for Delta while this is going on. Good for you, an Atlanta-based company. Good for you, because this is insane. I don't know how people are flying. I really don't, unless you absolutely a funeral, a wedding, graduation, something imperative. But if you're just going on a trip, I guess maybe if you paid for it, you have no choice. But they were interviewing people. Every television station is interviewing people in lines. And they're talking about, one guy said he had a 9 o'clock flight. He'd been there since 4 o'clock in the morning. And he was still wondering if he was going to make his flight. It's just crazy. And, these people are getting evicted. You would think that it depends, I guess. Like I have an independent apartment complex owner. My guy, Jason, great guy, owns our complex, our building. But you get with one of these real estate companies, and they're going to give you any slack, because you would think you could go to your apartment owner and say, I'm a TSA agent. It's been in all the papers. I haven't gotten paid in 44 days. And they'd give them some love, you would think. But no, if you get with one of these corporations, man, if you ain't got the rent by the 5th, you're going to get a pay or quit notice. Quick time out. Rick Bentley is next.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With us on the news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Deep divisions were apparent over the Iran war as diplomats from the group of 7 countries have met in France. But they agreed to call for an immediate halt to attacks against civilian populations and infrastructure after meeting Friday in France. The G7 meeting follows President Trump's repeated complaints that allies have ignored or rejected requests for help confronting Iran's retaliation. President Trump says the American air travel system has reached a breaking point. Trump signed an executive order Friday afternoon that should pay TSA employees next week. Trump's action came after a Homeland Security funding measure collapsed in Congress. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 793, the NASDAQ lower by 459. More details at srnnews.com.
No, because he called
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. 33-year-old Victor Farias, the suspect in the killing of a woman on College Avenue Wednesday night in Bakersfield, was captured Thursday in Tehachapi, say police. That's where he wrecked his car soon after the murder. He's back in Bakersfield to face charges of homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, child abuse, and domestic violence. Tony Reyes gets 7 years to life for shooting at a mother and daughter who witnessed a wreck that he was in back in January of 21 at the intersection of Custer Avenue and South H Street. Todd Lee has been selected as the new head men's basketball coach at Cal State Bakersfield. He has a career record of 220 to 133. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, make sure you're choosing wholesome ingredients like Eggland's Best eggs to plus up your nutrition. With more than 6 times the vitamin D and double the omega-3s and vitamin B12 compared to ordinary eggs, Eggland's Best supports a healthy lifestyle. Available in so many delicious varieties: classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll have the hot list. So hot right now, the hot list. We'll talk jobs with America's Job Center at Kern. We've got state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the internet at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning, 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Why not? Let's just go. Let's do that for a little bit. He's gonna have a heart attack right there at the beginning. There he is.
Did you all start without me?
Mr. Bentley just got the intro going.
Yeah. No, it's like, come on.
He's hosted the show before. He knows.
Got a little hitch. Got a little hitch in my giddy up.
Yeah.
So my lap takes
I don't think you have
longer.
any giddy up left.
No, I really don't. I really don't.
Your giddy up got up and went.
I don't know what it is, and it's just this. My body is just so sensitive, and because I went back, there's certain foods I can't eat, and I forgot at the tournament on Monday. I had 2 beers. I had 2 805s, and that is just stupid. And now it's in my hip.
But because of those 2 beers, that's why you shot 22 par?
No, that was the winner.
I thought that was you. I'm sorry. I figured you won the event.
No. We did well, extremely well. We were 2 under par legitimately.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
6 with a little cash.
Yeah.
Because we set up things where you can buy scores.
Of course.
And we paid a heavy price to get the 6.
Wow.
But a great tournament it was. It really was. I wish you played golf. I really do.
I don't.
You could pick it up. It's a great game.
I told you my first job as a sports writer, we had a small course right next door, and I went out several times.
Yeah.
And I've never hit a golf ball more than an inch above the ground.
That's okay. Everybody learns. It's
yeah, but you can't just roll everything across the fairway.
Well, that's the beginning. That's the beginning. Hell, I still do that. I've been playing for 34
I was doing that
years.
after months of trying. It was like putting. I was great. As long as we didn't have to get in the air, I was done. So yeah, I had no interest in it.
That's too bad.
Yeah,
I just love everything about it. I just being out on a course and green and a sunny day. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
You could just go to a park. You realize you could go to the Yosemite and
but a park doesn't have a rolling stream and lakes and.
What do you mean a park doesn't have lake and streams? What kind of parks have you been to?
Jastrow Beach, parks around my house.
Oh, I'm talking about Yosemite, and I'm talking about come on, national parks. Yeah, they have more than
Sure.
Maybe we should take each other on in miniature golf.
I used to be a huge miniature
There we
golf
go.
fan.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what a horrible teenager we were? We would get incredibly stoned and then play miniature golf for money.
For money? Oh.
Yes. And we would have like 7-year-olds being like, come on, hurry up! Like, shut up, kid. This is a $5 putt.
So did your final hole have a windmill or a clown or
Yes,
something?
it had a windmill, and the ball lost, and we kept score. And
wow,
we took it very seriously. We do that. We played 36 holes on a Friday night.
Well, it's not pickleball, but I can see why you'd like it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I know.
Any comments on Tiger Woods?
Nope. Yeah,
Okay.
you know how
That's
big a golf fan I am.
That's true.
But I do agree. His body's been racked so much. Just wait for the old timers tour.
Yeah.
Come on. His legacy is set. He just keeps cutting away at that legacy.
Yeah, he does.
Just
get in a golf cart, play on the senior tour.
Yeah, do a podcast.
Meet Ralph
Something,
Bailey.
whatever. Yeah,
meet Ralph Bailey in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
That's my hope, that he plays in my friend Nick Ragone's tournament in Philly.
You know what?
I
bet if you met him at the bar afterwards and you bought him a mimosa, he would actually look at you.
I don't think Mr. Woods is going to be seen drinking out in public anytime soon.
Oh, well, as you said, he's not a drinker.
He's really not. It's the pills.
Yeah.
It's the pain pills.
And you know what? I'm not going to condone what he does, but his body has been butchered.
Ravaged.
I mean,
yeah.
good Lord.
Yeah. And he's very lucky today, too.
Yeah.
Extremely lucky.
But
yes.
Speaking of lucky,
yes,
it's time for a visitor from the East. Kernak is here.
The Magnificent.
I have in my hand envelopes have been sitting on the porch of Funkin' Wagnall for over a week, and now with your divine abilities, you're going to ascertain the answers to the question before even looking into the envelope. Are you ready to play?
Not really, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, great Kernak, here is the first envelope. The first envelope.
Moss, Rose, Carol.
Is it still say on there, yell it?
Moss, Rose, Ross.
Moss,
Carol.
Ross, Rose, Carol.
Name of three, Pete.
Pete, Moss, Pete, Rose,
Carol.
Carol.
We had to think about it for a second.
Why not make our listeners think?
That's very true.
That's
very
right.
true.
I'm tired of them just sitting out there going, oh, that was great.
And save the best for last.
Oh,
we hope.
That was the best.
Well, then we're in trouble.
We're downhill from there.
Yeah.
Here is envelope
number
two. And what we know about number two.
We should write smaller phrases.
We're going to read it anyway. So.
Saddest part of winter season.
Saddest part of winter season. This is a thinker.
Clearly.
The saddest part.
How come Carson never had a problem getting him out of the damn envelope?
Well, he didn't come to work drunk.
Oh, that's what it is? Time waits for snowman.
Time waits for snowman. That's the saddest part of a winter season.
This is the esoteric.
That's right.
Karnak.
I believe we're above our audience right now.
Yes.
Ooh, let's
getting a little snooty
let's
in
bring
our
it,
answers.
let's
this
bring
time.
it back down
Yes.
with envelope number 3.
A blank white wall.
A blank white wall.
That's what I said. Name one thing blander than Mark Zuckerberg. A
blank white wall.
White wall.
Yeah. All right.
We're struggling.
You know what? We're halfway done. Let's just get it over with.
Let's speed this up.
Here is number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Under par and a unicorn.
Under par and a unicorn?
I think that's what I divined.
Under par and a unicorn.
Not sure. These long things I'm getting in my head.
Yeah, it's called dementia.
Yes. What are 2 things Ralph Bailey will never shoot? Par.
Under par and a unicorn.
He's got one on his head. That's why.
That's right. All right. Envelope number 5.
Number 5.
So you can read that one.
This I can divine. 9, 9, 9.
9, 9, 9.
That one came to me clearly.
That came to you clearly.
Yes, it did.
But the envelope does.
What does a German say when asked if he wants 9 dogs, 9 beers, and 9 innings? 9, 9, 9, 9. That was a base hit.
I should have left. We're done. I'm not even going to give you the
No,
last.
no,
All
no.
right. Here's the last envelope, Greg Kernak.
The last envelope.
A smattering of applause for us tonight. Mm-hmm.
May you find out that your daughter is dating Stefan Diggs.
Ooh.
Put that in your hat and smoke it. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to say that.
Yeah.
Meteorologist.
Meteorologist.
It's lucky I was able to divine that one.
Yeah, that's a big word, I know.
Yes. What do you do if the weather is affecting your peeing?
Meteorologist.
Mr. Bentley will be on vacation next Friday.
Well, it's been fun.
That
It's
was
been
fine.
fun.
You got a little intellectual on us.
I know. It was like, yeah. I got to stop doing these while I'm actually thinking. I got to be one of those stoopers that go, oh, how stupid can I be here with this?
Yes. If you were not the sober man that I know you to be, I would suggest you were smoking a little something when you were doing these.
Maybe the unicorn was the symbol of that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So what's really going on? Oh, what I know, I wanted to interview you first before we continue.
I haven't seen the finale.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I saw it last night.
And again, my problem is I have to watch TV shows to do interviews. We have two local people, two women who are on national dating shows, reality dating shows.
Really?
Yes. So I've sat through 20 hours of two reality dating shows. So my 20 hours was spent on watching TV with that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to show you the first one. Because
is she an attractive woman?
Well, it's everything's in the eye of the beholder. This is
holy kingfish.
This is Lexi.
Can you guys see that? No, I guess. Well, yeah, you can kind of make it out. She's a very attractive woman.
Lexi is from Tulare.
Really?
And she's on the Hulu dating reality show called Love Overboard.
You can tell. There's just some women you can look at and just tell she's got an attitude. I know that's not fair.
You know what?
But you can just look and see.
I did an interview with her. She was the sweetest thing in the world. The interview I did with her aired today on KGT. So if you go on the website, you can see my interview with her.
Okay.
She is so down. But again,
oh really? She's a nice girl.
Was really a sweet,
no attitude.
Figure.
Okay.
No attitude. Because I asked her about these dating shows. You kind of say things and do things, and cameras are always watching. She wasn't worried about that. She was more worried about her father seeing it. And it's like, okay, you're still.
She is a good girl.
You're still a good girl when you're worried about what dad's going to think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but basically.
So I take back everything I said.
Yeah. The game show had her and 15 other attractive people. We're gonna have to say it. They went to and lived on a luxury yacht in the Mediterranean for a few weeks, and then they paired up. And if you ended up being together at the end, you want to trip around the world. Otherwise, if you were eliminated, you had to walk the plank, and if you were eliminated, they would drop you off the plank. So that's why it's Love Overboard. So
that's a neat visual.
Yeah, all episodes are readily right now on Hulu. So I don't want to tell you how she did, but you can go on there and check it out.
Okay.
But she was great. I even asked her. I said, "Come on now, look at you. You probably have heard every line in the book. You probably had guys buy you mimosas at the bar. Okay,
would you get off me, please?
No, I'm like, it's digging.
A little bit.
Yeah. And so
I'm a giving human being.
You are a giving human being.
Giving.
But you prefer to take than to give. So anyway.
Every now and again.
And she said, yeah, I've heard a lot of lines in it, but she said that helped me with the show. I know how to look through, and really know what people are saying and what they're talking about. And she said growing up on a farm in Tulare, she felt like she was down to earth, that she could, she knew people. She could understand when people were being real and not. So
it's been my experience in 6 decades of life that beautiful women, it's two things. It's surprising how rarely beautiful women get hit on because
people
they're
are afraid.
intimidated.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's amazing to me how many times beautiful women get hit on and they don't realize it. They think that we're like nice human beings when we're not.
No, we are.
If we're being nice to you, can I carry your groceries for you? Oh, that's so nice. He's such a nice guy. No, he's not. He's going to get to your card. He's going to ask you for your phone number.
Yeah.
He's not being nice. We're not nice human beings. Not till about 40. Chris Burdick is one of the rare exceptions. He's a really nice kid. He really is. But most 31-year-olds, are you going crazy?
Yeah, it's an ulterior motive.
Of course it is.
Everything has yes.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
And especially when you look like somebody like that.
I had so many girlfriends who would come home and she'd go, "You would never believe what happened to me." And I'm like, "What?" A guy pumped my gas. Such a nice guy. And I'm like,
was she being literal or was that a
no?
Somebody pumped my gas.
No.
Oh, okay.
That was not a metaphor.
Okay.
She literally had her gas pumped and thought that the guy was just being nice. And I was like, he was not being nice. He was hitting on you.
That's right.
I said, did he? And she was like, no, he's not. No, he's not. We went back and forth. I said, did he ask for your number? Well, yeah, but he was just, that's it. I'm just saying.
It would have been worse. Did he ask for your credit card number? Because gas is so expensive.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
It is crazy to run around town and see it at $5 everywhere.
Yeah. I literally found a station near here that's 509, and that's the cheapest I've seen in town.
Yeah.
No,
it's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse. Yeah. And, fortunately, I don't have to drive as much as some people, but for families, this is becoming a crucial thing.
Yeah.
Something's got to give. And I'm not familiar too much. Isn't there a California gas tax that kicks in?
They're trying to, the mileage tax is about to kick in. Republicans are trying to get rid of the current 61-cent gas tax, just suspend it for a year. The Democrats aren't even willing to do that. Just suspend it through epic fury, but they're not even willing to do that.
You've got to find some way to give relief to the people.
Because I got cousins in South Carolina who are complaining about $3.50 gasoline. And I'm like, brother, you need to come to Cali and get some appreciation.
My son's godfather lives in Tennessee. And he said, I had to pay $3.25 the other day. I could not believe it. And I said, I would kill for $3.25. Tell me where that station. I think when I'm driving to Tennessee to buy it for $3.25 and then drive
coming back,
which makes all the sense in the world. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's horrible. What else is going on?
Well, we also have another woman who's on a show called Age of Attraction.
Yeah.
And basically, what that show is, they brought in these 20 people, and the only thing they wouldn't tell them was you could talk about yourself. You couldn't say what age you were. And so when people were beginning to pair up, it's like, well, is he, older than he looks 15, but is he actually older? She looks 30, but is she older? Not until they pair up did they tell each other their age. So we have a woman by the name of Leah Woolfolk, who was a BHS grad, Bakersfield High School grad, played soccer for the team there. She's on this show.
Is she part of the Woolfolk family? Steve Woolfolk? And
I do not know.
Is she African American?
She is.
I bet she is part. Steve Woolfolk is one of the greatest. You know Steve Woolfolk, don't you, Chris? Played at BHS. Is one of the best running backs come out of this community.
Well, see that,
I bet it's part of that family.
And again, when I'm doing these kind of interviews, I always feel, uncomfortable sort of asking about, well, what's your dad's name? What's your, it's like,
right.
If they offer it to me, like the first woman, Lexi, she said, I'm worried about my dad, but she never said my dad, Bill Smith or whatever like that. So I feel like that's crossing the line into too much personal. I'm not that kind of guy. But anyway, so all these episodes are on Prime Video right now. She ended up getting with a guy. They reveal their age, and then after you pair up, then you live together for a few days, and then you have to decide whether you want to continue dating each other. So I don't want to ruin the ending because all the episodes are still there for you to see. But when she met the guy, they shared their age. She's 41, and he is 26.
Wow.
And so I'm sitting here the whole time watching these 9 episodes thinking, dump this guy, get out of that relationship as fast as you can, because they're talking about having children. Now, she's 41, and I know there are women who are getting older having children. But that mid-30s is really but even if they hit it off, they get to know each other, they move in together, you're talking about 2 or 3 years before she can get pregnant. And now you're looking at she's going to be taking Social Security before our kid graduates.
Yeah.
So
when he's 40, she'll be like damn near my age.
She'll be 55.
55.
Yeah.
Well, that's damn near my
56,
age.
sorry.
That's damn near my age.
Yeah.
And no 40-something's going out with a 56-year-old woman.
No.
That's just not happening.
Well, I was thinking, he's 26 and she's 41. Come on. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
Yes.
Very rarely
But
do unbalanced aged relationships work when the woman is older.
Yeah.
And I know women are going to hate me for saying that, but it's true.
Now,
I
will say this. They don't reveal the age when you're watching until they reveal it on the show. And I'm looking at her thinking, but she's got to be in her 30s. I mean,
but she's 41.
She's 41.
Great.
Yeah. And so, she looks great. I'm not, she's gorgeous. But when you look at that sort of big age, but that's the whole idea of the show. There were young girls with older men and so forth. And some work, some don't. Some can't get past the age difference. There's one coupling where the girl's very young and the he's got 2 older kids. And wow, if you're young, taking on older kids as a mom, and anyway, that's been
I
my
mean, she
life.
probably has kids that are almost his age, not quite, but almost
That
his
might be
age.
hitting on mom. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's what my life has been for the last couple of weeks. It's just 20 hours of dating reality shows, which I hate.
Yeah.
But I do it. I get it. Throw myself on the TV
You're a
grenade
good man.
for those people out there. So
I saw the weirdest thing on Reels last night. It was a biracial couple. No, it was a white couple who adopted a black. They had a white daughter. They adopted a black son. The father died. The adopted son married the mother.
that's weird.
That is incredibly weird.
That is weird.
Not only is it interracial, but that's not weird in the 21st century. Not only is she older, but she raised the boy.
Yeah.
And now they're married.
But it's not illegal.
It's not illegal and it's not incest.
No.
But it's just bizarre as all hell.
Yeah, that is extremely weird. to me.
I mean, when he says, "Who's your daddy?" It's a whole new thing. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Or I guess she's saying, "Who's your mama?"
Who's your mama? Like, okay, well, that's enough. We're done. So
I'm sorry. I do want to talk about the Kennedy thing, though.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a Kennedy freak.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we know how it ends.
Yeah.
It's not a big mystery about the last episode.
Right.
I was happy. The things that I don't like about these docudramas, I like the docudramas who basically mirror incidents in this person's life.
Right.
And let's see how it actually played out.
Right.
I do not like invented conversations. That's the
Right.
problem that I have with these docudramas. And they are obviously, with the life of John Kennedy Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, there are some pivotal points in their lives.
Right.
And the final episode obviously has to do with the crash.
Right.
And there's some very sensitive issues dealing with that. And we all lived it.
Yeah.
And nobody knows it better than I, because it happened, I think, the weekend after I got home from burying my father.
Oh.
My father died on June of 99. He died July 16th, I believe. And it just happened when I came back.
Yeah.
And what I appreciated about what they did, because I've seen this on air disasters. I have a phobia of flying, and I watch air disasters.
Oh, yeah.
Phi Beta Kappa, Ralph Bailey. And on one of the episodes, they replayed the downing of the flight.
Yeah.
And we now know that Mr. Kennedy suffered from spatial disorientation, not being able to read his equipment.
Yeah.
And just it's a whole controversy where his instructor insisted on going with him. He insisted that he not.
Yeah.
And so there was some drama from the Bessette family because they lost two of their daughters.
Yeah.
The sister went along with them.
Yeah.
And so they did not depict what happened in the cockpit.
Yeah.
I respected that. There was a point where they're like, there's obviously some trouble going on, and you can see he's kind of.
Yeah.
Then they left it alone.
Yeah.
But in air disasters, they did not, where they depicted him starting to panic and not knowing what's going on. And according to the NTSB, they never knew what was going on. They knew something was wrong, but they thought they were climbing when they hit the water.
Wow.
And and I don't appreciate them creating conversation because there was tension, obviously,
Right.
between the two families
Right.
after they died. And there was even tension before the wedding. The mom didn't really want her daughter marrying John Kennedy, which I thought was bizarre. Your daughter's about to become the first lady of the United States in about 20 years.
But having seen that episode and did the interview with the actress that played,
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, I got her point of view, and again, that's based on her actual
Yeah.
speech. So I'm
Mhm.
not, I get it. You are asking somebody who's not lived that life to step into that world that's just going to change forever. That you're going to lose all your privacy. Everything you do is going to be. And I can see why, as a mom, that would scare her.
Yeah.
Even if the plus side is, yes, you're marrying into a well-known family, and you're going to probably be the first lady, and all that sort of stuff. That fear, as a mom fear, has got to be. You're just. I don't want my baby to be put
Because
in that situation.
you realize that, and it's what Michelle Obama has gone through. It's why Michelle Obama totally resents being first lady.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't go to the funerals. Who recently died, Chris? Some bigwig recently died, and she blew off the funeral.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but
somebody prominent. Why can't
we were all blacking out. But she resents it, and that's what this was all about, because you're going to be a satellite in his world. You have to know that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And here's Michelle. And the reason Michelle Obama is because she was a prominent lawyer, and she was doing this and this and this, and all of a sudden now she's Barack's wife.
Yeah.
And she didn't like that. And I don't think Carolyn Bessette would have liked that either.
No, if the depiction of the TV series, because I didn't know her. I'm basing what
none of us know her.
that she was a strong,
independent
woman, and who could have, equally been a president.
Yeah,
absolutely. And so
smart.
Yeah, and so it's like, does that work, or do you need somebody? Do you need a first lady who's willing to say, "I'm just going to be here. I'm going to be in the background. I'm going to be trying to protect our children if we have any. I know what my job is." So,
That's hard to do.
You can't be that A personality and be willing to be that B personality.
Right.
So,
well, it's a sad story. It really, really is.
yeah, it is. It's a horrifying story. So
Jimmy Carter was the person we were trying to think of, by the way.
Was it Jimmy Carter? No, somebody recent.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago.
Even more recent than that?
It's in the last
like a
2
month
weeks.
ago.
And I am blanking.
I totally am. Me too. I cannot.
And I know our current president did not go.
Somebody will text us soon. Who recently died? Anybody? Nobody's chiming in.
Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson. Thank you.
There
Jesse
we go.
Jackson.
Yeah.
She's from Chicago.
Yeah.
She grew up, born, raised in Chicago, and didn't go to Jesse Jackson's funeral. And you know why? They didn't get along.
Yeah.
They did not get along.
Yeah.
Barack and Jesse did not get along.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things people don't realize.
Yeah.
And of course, it was Barack's DOJ that prosecuted Jesse Jackson Jr.
Yep.
So there's some deal
There's
right
a lot going on there. Yeah.
Overall, I found it interesting, but again, I don't like invented conversations, and much of it has to do with their love affair and their relationship with the Kennedys, and it's all made up down in Burbank and Culver City, and that's the only.
Yeah, but even a documentary would have people saying, "Oh, I believe they would," and so that's made up.
Our good friend Jeff Salters joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, it was all right, I guess. I don't know.
This is AM 1180 KERN, Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. There are reports of Russian drones being sent to Iran.
U.S. and European officials say that Russia is sending a shipment of drones to Iran, including upgraded versions of the drone technology that Tehran originally supplied to Moscow after its invasion of Ukraine. The upgraded drones could carry more advanced anti-jamming technology, cameras, or use satellite internet. European officials say the two sides have been holding active discussions throughout March about transferring the drones from Russia to Iran. The Kremlin has denied the reports. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The House Ethics Committee has ruled against Democratic Representative Sheila Sherflus McCormick, a decision that could add weight to Republicans' push to expel her from Congress. Marcelo Sanchez has more.
The House Ethics Committee has found Florida Democratic Representative Sheila Sherflus McCormick committed 25 ethics violations of House rules and ethics standards. The panel says it will recommend a punishment in the coming weeks. The allegations center around Sherflus McCormick's receipt of millions of dollars from her family's healthcare business after Florida made an overpayment of roughly $5 million in COVID-19 disaster relief funds. She's accused of using that money to fund her 2022 congressional campaign through a network of businesses and family members. The Congresswoman has denied wrongdoing. Marcela Sanchez, Washington.
President Trump has signed a promised executive action that will pay Transportation Security Administration employees after a deal that sought to do the same stalled in Congress. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 793, the Nasdaq dropped 459, the S&P lower by 108. More at townhall.com.
If you're nearing retirement, stop what you're doing and listen, because what's unfolding right now could hit your 401k or IRA harder than anything we've seen in years. Military escalation across the Middle East, a tariff war spilling into the courts, the U.S. dollar facing pressure that historically signals one thing: A flight to safety. Smart money has been moving into gold and silver, and it's not slowing down. Call Advantage Gold right now at 800-900-8000 and get your free gold investment kit, plus a free copy of economist Ken Rogoff's eye-opening book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Thousands of Americans have already rolled over a portion of their retirement savings into physical gold and silver, completely tax and penalty-free through Advantage Gold. The next news cycle won't wait for you. Get into position now. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Cal State University Bakersfield makes their decision. I'm Chris Davis, and they've decided to help boost their program with the hiring of Todd Lee as the next head men's basketball coach. He's got a career-winning record of 220-133 and has been coaching for 30 years, even helping CSUB win a championship in 1994. The program has some repair work to do. Its rep has taken a hit this year with the arrest of an assistant coach on pimping and child pornography charges. Todd Reyes has a lot of prison time to serve for what he did back on January 5th, 2021, when he was involved in a wreck at the intersection of Custer Avenue and South 8th Street in Bakersfield. It's not the wreck that has earned him a 7 years to life sentence plus 4 years, but what he did afterward, following a mother and a daughter who witnessed the wreck and shooting at them with a bullet going in the car and nearly hitting the daughter. It was in Tehachapi that 33-year-old Victor Farias was captured Thursday. Detectives from Bakersfield went there and picked him up to face charges of homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, child abuse, and domestic violence. That's in the Wednesday killing of a woman during a domestic incident at a house on College Avenue, after which Farias fled and wrecked and abandoned his car in Tehachapi. In about 3 months, the shops at Riverwalk on Stockdale Highway will have a couple of new stores, which some people consider upscale. They are Lululemon Athletic Wear and J. Crew, according to the owner of that strip mall. A new building is being built there to house those stores. The average price for gas across the country is down a penny over the past day, but it's still at $5.83 in California, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think this is, the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You got to get a post like this. Bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Friday. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live at KERNradio.com. Lots to do in the final 2 hours of the week. We'll get into the fact that there are more Marines headed to the Middle East. We'll talk about that. They discussed this at a CPAC convention. Matt Gaetz, of all people, was there. The president signed in. We'll talk about that. Coming up at 5, we're going to meet Lizette Gomez. The Bakersfield Women's Conference is coming up next month. We're going to pump that up for them. And we'll wrap this up. We'll talk a little Dodger baseball. I told you the Dodgers are going to go 158-4 this season, and we're on our way. 1-0. Great night last night. We won 8-2. We'll tell you the story of Miggy Rojas, who wasn't supposed to start last night. This is his final season, and Dave Roberts waited. And if you saw the pregame show, he and Freddie Freeman came out with our 2 trophies. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk more about the JFK Jr. documentary. But in the meantime, if you have not been to Portrait of a Warrior, and I have asked that it be mandatory that all of our high schools, or maybe even on the junior high school level, see the Portrait of a Warrior gallery at some point. And here to talk about that and a special event coming up tomorrow is our good friend, owner, operator of Salty's Barbecue, Jeff Salters. Salty, good to see you, man.
What's going on, Mr. Ralph Bailey?
Not a whole lot. You tell me, introduce your guests, Donna Rowe and Mr. Garcia.
So we have Donna Rowe here and Mr. George Garcia. Donna is going to be our headline speaker tomorrow at our event where we're going to honor our Vietnam veterans for Vietnam Veteran Memorial Day. It'll be held across the street from the gallery in the parking lot there. We'll have chairs, comfortable chairs. The guys helped unload today. And Miss Donna is going to tell her story and just kind of talk to us about her experience as a field nurse in Vietnam. And we are honored to have her here. We're super excited for this. I just got to speak with her a little bit today, and just the little things that I've heard, the little snippets, I'm like, wow.
Before we get to Donna, I got to do the responsible thing for the 5 people that may not know about the Portrait of a Warrior Gallery. Tell them what it's all about.
So the Portrait of a Warrior Gallery is a gallery downtown Bakersfield, 1925 I Street, where we honor the 27 fallen soldiers from Kern County from post 9/11, as well as we have a room there that we honor our 180 Vietnam veterans who passed in war. And then in our hall, we call the Hall of Honor, where we honor other post 9/11 veterans who passed away from non-combat related injuries. And so it's just a place to honor and remember. And we are so blessed in this community to have this.
Yes.
And you're right. If you have not been there, you need to come. Today we had a couple men coming in there doing some work, and they walked into the gallery and they just they looked around like, whoa, what is this? We had no idea. And we always talk about the best kept secret, and it's probably one of those.
I agree.
And it's just, events like tomorrow, getting out here today with you and others, and just encourage your listeners. I mean, you probably got close to 1 million listeners, I think, somewhere in that neighborhood.
1.5.
1.5. They need to get down there. Tomorrow we're looking for 1,000 people. We want to blow out the city and have people show up to hear Miss Donna and to represent and see what's going on. And we'll give tours until everybody's done.
Yeah. And the portraits aren't just simple pictures of the fallen. They tell a story. They have a little, let's say I'm one of the ones that passed away, and I played Little League Baseball, and I was on the radio. They'll have little portraits at the bottom that shows me talking into a radio mic or playing Little League Baseball. It literally tells the story of the veteran. Meantime, let's hear your story. Donna, yes, ma'am.
Story.
Where'd you grow up? Where were you raised? How did you get into the military? How did you get into nursing? We want to hear it all. We've got till 6 o'clock.
Oh, good. Right. Good. Well, good. We can do that.
We're going to give a teaser. She got to come back tomorrow and get the rest of the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I was born and raised in a small New England town outside of Worcester, Massachusetts, which is about 40 minutes from Boston. And I got in the Army Nurse Corps in the 1960s because they were recruiting nurses that were specializing in OR or emergency room triage. And I was specializing in emergency room triage. And so the Army Nurse Corps came and said, we'll pay for your last 2 years in college. And my mom and dad already had 3 of us in college. So I went trotting home to my dad, who was a good Irishman. We have a lot of them in Massachusetts.
I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of them. And my father was sitting down one end of the dining room table. My mother was at the other. My mother was 4'11". She was a juvenile delinquent officer in the state of Massachusetts. And I put the paper down in front of Daddy, and I said, Daddy, I need you to sign this. I said, because I'm not 21, and you need to sign it. And he looked down at that paper, and he pushed it back at me. He said, I'm not signing that. He said, if I'd be signing that, child, you're going to war. And I went, war? And he said, yes, there's a war in Southeast Asia. I said, well, that's okay, Daddy. I can do that. And he said, I'm not signing it, child. My mother from the other end of the table said to my father, he had a nickname, Bucky. She said, Bucky, sign the damn thing. She's going to do it whether you sign it or not.
Wow. Do you remember what year that was?
Yeah, it was early 1960s.
Yeah, so the war wasn't really raging quite yet.
No, but my father, he
knew.
Well, my dad owned Independent Taxi Cab Incorporated, which is Checker Cabs.
Right.
And he'd heard a lot of the stories. And so he signed it. And I went in the Army Nurse Corps through the Student Nurse Corps program, which is ROTC. So when I passed my exams and did all the things I was supposed to do, I went and took special certification classes in triage, emergency room, And I went to Boston City Hospital, Mass General, all those, Bellevue in New York. And I ended up going in the Army Nurse Corps in February. And I ended up at Brooke Army Medical Center at Fort Sam Houston, Texas. Then I went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, home of the 82nd Special Forces. That was interesting, patients.
Yeah.
High testosterone level.
Our oldest fort, our oldest
Yes.
station in the country.
And great patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I met my husband. He was a noxious patient, and he got out of control, and I was supervisor that night, and I was called up to the ward to straighten him out.
You said he was obnoxious?
He was.
First of all, you said noxious.
No, he was obnoxious.
Obnoxious.
He was. He had just had vocal polyp surgery, and I got called up there because several of the guys from the 82nd brought in beverages and coolers. And I walked into the ward, and the whole ward had enjoyed the beverages. But he'd also had anesthesia. So he was a little bit juiced on me.
Yeah.
And I was standing at the end of the bed. Michelle Helms had caught me. I was supervisor that night. Michelle Helms was the Army nurse on that ward, and she's going. So I went in and I stood at the bottom of the bed. I put my hands on the bed. I said, Major, get yourself down on the bed. You had vocal polyp surgery. You're not to be speaking. And he had the Army striped pajamas on. And he staggered back in the bed and he went, you can't talk to me that way. I outrank you. And I traveled with two big medics. I grabbed a hold of that rail at the bottom of the bed. I looked down at the track. I said, listen, Major, as long as you're wearing those funny pajamas, I outrank your ass. Get down in the bed. And 18 months later, we were married.
Wow. That's a great love story.
It is. And then Al and I went to Walter Reed. Al went to Marine Command and Staff College, even though he was Army. And he came home. I was telling George, he came home, probably it was like it was Easter time. And he came home from class that day. And I was going on duty, but I was still home. And he said, my whole class is going to Vietnam. And I said, well, we'll just go together. Just like that. And he went, what? I said, we'll go together. I said, I'll go ahead, request duty. And I said, they hate me because I'm married. The Army North Corps didn't like us married.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be married to the Corps.
Right.
And so I was married to Al and not to the Corps. So that wasn't. So anyways, long story short, I went into my chief nurse and I reported to her. And I said, ma'am, I'd like orders for Vietnam. She said, you'll have them tomorrow morning. And sure enough, I did.
Wow.
And the Army Corps of Engineers matched my orders with Al's. We flew over together. And by the grace of God, we flew home together.
That is incredible. That is incredible. How long were you in Vietnam?
369 days.
To the day you remember.
I do remember.
Wow.
I even remember my service number, which George said he doesn't remember his.
Well, mine was a Social Security number.
Easy to
I remember my Social Security again.
Easy for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And any vivid memories of Vietnam in those 369 days?
Well, what
sticks out?
Well, I was head nurse of the largest there were two major triage areas in emergency rooms in Vietnam. One was at 3rd Field and one was at 8th Field. And then there were 21 hospitals in Vietnam and 2 Navy ships, medical ships off the coast. And our triage emergency room was one of the largest. And I was head nurse of that unit for 342 days.
I can only imagine what you saw.
And you're right.
Let me take that back. I can't imagine what you saw.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
And George saw it too. We all saw it.
Oh yeah.
But
so her and George served in the same field hospital at different times.
Is that right?
Yeah, he was after me.
Yeah.
And he's got the after pictures. Some of the things he's showing me, we didn't have there.
Yeah.
And I'm going, oh my gosh, they had a helipad inside the hospital. We couldn't do that. Our helipad had to be outside because we had too many wires and a chopper couldn't make it in there without taking off his blades.
Yeah.
So, but we could take in one wave, if we had a wave, and a wave could be 8 to 10 choppers coming in, 8 or 10 on each chopper, especially during Tet and the May offensive. We could take a wave of 100, 110 and not even blink an eye.
Yeah.
And I had 39 corpsmen. The hospital had 42 doctors. And when the horn rang, I don't know if you had the horn. We had a horn in triage. Was it still there?
Yes.
When the horn blew, they all responded to triage.
Mm.
And then I had 5 terrific chaplains. And I don't know what we'd do without the chaplains.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't. And then we had 3 great Red Cross gals. Because you see, I was the only RN in the triage area.
Wow.
And in the emergency room.
You were busy.
Oh, we were busy. My men, though, a lot of my men were equivalent to licensed practical nurses. They were 91Cs, 91Bs. And they were equivalent to what you and I would call a licensed practical nurse. And very well. And a lot of them had already had combat seasoned. They were already had been in the field. So what they were seeing in triage, they'd already experienced.
Yeah.
Especially my first sergeant. My first sergeant had 5 tours.
Wow.
And he was spectacular.
I have a quick question. So in my brain, I'm here in this field hospital, and my brain goes to MASH, right?
Oh, don't you
were,
wish.
were they buildings, or were they?
I'll tell you what it was.
Tents, or what was
I'll
it?
tell you. In 3rd Field Hospital was the first hospital. 3rd Field Hospital was the first hospital in Vietnam. And what we did was we took over the American school.
Oh.
And it had, you know, the classrooms became wards.
Wow.
And my husband and I designed the new triage, new emergency room, OR, because when I got to 3rd Field, that it wasn't in the right order.
Oh, wow.
And so when my husband came in from the field, I said, Al, you have to help me design this so our loss ratio isn't so high. And he went, tell me what you need. And I said, this, and this. And he said, I'll design it tonight. And he did. And we turned it over to our engineers, and the Vietnamese and the engineers built it in like a month's time. Wow. And we were still functioning while they were building around us. And
Incredible. Is it different than, we're talking with Donna Rowe. She's going to be speaking tomorrow at the Portrait of War Gallery downtown. Is it different than dealing with a hospital? Do you have to almost disconnect from trying to connect with the warriors because of the high casualty rate?
I'm going to tell you honestly, I don't remember any of their names, even though I was telling George today that because the dog tags 9 times out of 10 were worn in the boots, and 70% of the time there was no boots coming in with the casualties. Okay.
Wow.
So we didn't have a name. And if we were losing them, we had to get their name.
Yeah.
And, but I'll be honest with you. I remember all the injuries. I remember them as if it was yesterday, but I don't remember the names. And I have psychoanalyzed myself. I have said, I thought to myself when I got home, I said, I'm not remembering the names, because if I didn't remember the names, it didn't become personal.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't carrying that home.
Yeah, that's what I was trying
And I
to get
wasn't
at.
carrying that home. And we were talking coming over here, George and I were talking about PTSD. I don't have PTSD, and I know I don't. My husband doesn't. But the reason for that is we went together, and when we came home, you know, Vietnam vets didn't talk very much when we came home because of the way the country had turned against us.
Yes.
And they went underground with their thoughts and stories. My husband and I could talk together.
Right.
And I really firmly believe that that's why I'm not carrying all that.
That's good that you don't have that weight on you. I'm glad.
No,
to hear
I
that.
don't. And I'm proud of what we did. I'm proud of what the nurses did. There were over 11,000 women served in Vietnam during the Vietnam conflict. Of that 11,000, about 98% were Army nurses. And of that, 8 of us are on the wall in Washington, D.C. 3 of them I knew. and they had a direct hit on their triage area and killed all 3 of them.
Wow. Have you been back to Washington to the Vietnam Wall?
Yes, I was one of the Georgia coordinators for the Women's Memorial. And so I went back for the dedication of that in 1993, which is right near the wall. And that was the first time I had seen the wall, because I worked on the collaborative for the wall.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I worked on the collaborative for the wall, and under Max Cleland, who was then the head of the VA. And
From Georgia.
Yes,
Wasn't he a state senator?
State senator.
Yeah.
Oh yes. We were very proud of
I
that.
met Max. I went to college in Atlanta, and I met Max Cleland.
Well, Max Cleland was the head of the VA, and I had 5 collaborators trying to decide on what to do for the Vietnam Memorial. And the Vietnam vets didn't want the wall.
Really? That's interesting. I never
You know
knew
why?
that. Why?
Well, because it's the only monument that you can't see from the road. It's hidden in the ground.
Yeah.
And it's black. And guess what? We were interpreting that to mean you really don't want to recognize that this happened. That 55,269 people gave their lives for freedom of the people.
Yeah.
And so the Vietnam vets on the collaboratives were very much against, but it happened. And so we have the memorial to the men, the living, and that memorial had 3 men on it, a Hispanic, a black, and a white, and a woman. And the Park Service made them take off the woman.
I was going to say, I was like, Jeff, do you remember?
I was like,
wow. They
And
made
she
them
had-
remove that?
Yes, and she had a stethoscope around
Oh,
her
that
neck.
is a travesty.
It was. So Diane Carlson Evans got us all organized, and that was in 1983. And in 1993, we trotted into Washington with our own memorial.
Good for you.
Right. And it was the first monument to women in the nation's capital.
Good for you.
And we had 7,000 of us women came back, along with 34,000 men. And we dedicated that women's memorial.
Have you been to the memorial at Arlington? The women's memorial?
Yes, I have.
Isn't that outstanding?
And that's outstanding.
Yeah.
And I just was in Washington for they inducted my husband into the in memory Vietnam Wall, because my husband died with Lou Gehrig's disease from Agent Orange.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so my sons and I went back for that.
That's
And
outstanding.
it was a great honor. And it was very moving for my son, Richard, in particular. They were reading the names. You had to go up and read the name, hold the plaque, hold their picture, and read the name. And we were halfway through the 700. And my son, Richard, leaned over and he said, "Mom, are you going to be able to do this?" Because they were crying. And, it was very emotional.
I bet.
And I
Sure.
said, I said, I am going to do this for your father if I don't do anything else.
Good for you.
So we did it.
Good for you. I'm running out of time, and George, I'm sorry. We've manipulated all the time. and-
you blew me away.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we are televising this on YouTube, because if I had said on radio, she looks like she's 40, you'd have never believed me. But now that you can see, you see what I'm talking about. You do not look like you served in the Vietnam War.
Well, I'm 83.
That is amazing.
And so is Dee.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Thank you. Okay, how did I find her? How did we find her? Okay, Lily Marsh gave me a call and asked me if I could find some nurses that served in Vietnam. So I started Googling and I read her bio. I said, this is her. And then she served at Third View Hospital, where I served years later.
Isn't that incredible?
So I left a message with her assistant, and a week later, I'm on the roof cleaning my solar panels, and it's a hot day, and I've been getting all these phone calls that they want to buy my house over and over. And I saw this phone call coming in, and I was pretty mad. PTSD, 100%. And I answered it, and I said, "Stop calling me." Yelled loud. Heard a little voice, said, "George, this is Donna. Is this a bad time?" I said, "No, man." So I put everything down. I sat on the roof and we talked for half an hour. And here she is.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
outstanding.
I'm gonna put it out there, current-warrior.org. You can go on there, click on our website, become a supporter of the Portrait of Warrior Gallery. In order for us to help bringing people like Donna here and keeping the gallery going, we need your help. We need your support. Kern-warrior.org.
And the gallery is wonderful. I've just been there. It is spectacular.
Isn't it?
It is. Well, it's very moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's patriotic. It's everything you want it to be.
Yeah, as is your story. It really, really is incredible. What are you doing now? I'm assuming you're living in Georgia?
I am in Georgia.
What part of Georgia?
Well, I live in Kennesaw, Georgia, just north of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. I'm very familiar with it.
Dee lives in Marietta.
Okay, very familiar
And
with
I
Marietta.
lived in Marietta, and then, I did nursing for 22 years. And then we had 3 boys in college, and Al had a very good job. Matter of fact, my husband helped design the stealth bomber that bombed in Iran.
Really?
At
Wow.
Lockheed Martin.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he's a fascinating man. But anyways, so I said to Al, Al, this nursing isn't making enough money with all these kids in college. We didn't want any of the boys to have debt when they got out. So I went into real estate, and I'm a Hall of Famer in the state of Georgia for real estate.
Really?
And I'm the first woman in the Hall of Fame for veterans in Georgia.
Wow.
So there
is
you go.
Really exciting.
A double honoree here.
And
yeah.
well deserved.
We
Well
have a treat,
deserved.
guys. You need to make sure you make it tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, what time are you getting started?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. You got to come out and hear the story of Donna. It really is an amazing story. Thank you so much for your
It's my honor.
service.
It's my honor, and thank you for having me.
And thank you for coming in. We really,
It's
really
my
appreciate
honor.
it. And
It's my honor.
It's just, it's a great, great story. Have you written a book? Have you thought about writing a book?
I've got a outline done.
Yeah.
And it's called, it's a war love story. I'll Take You Home Again.
Well, if you need somebody to write your screenplay, give me a call.
I will.
I was a journalism graduate.
Oh, that'd be
and
wonderful. Yeah.
I would
You know,
love to write your story.
well,
I could probably get it sold in Hollywood for you too.
Well, I'll tell you what, when I'm in a documentary, and the people that did the documentary, they said, Donna, we've got to do a feature film.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Incredible.
Thank you so much for coming.
I don't know who would play me, though. Who would you guess?
Meryl Streep. Of course. Who else?
Hot Lips, of course. I don't know.
Donna Rowe, everybody. Go see her tomorrow at the Portrait of Warrior. Thanks for bringing her in to us. I
It's an
appreciate
honor
it,
and a
Salty.
privilege, yes.
Jeff Salters from Salty's Barbecue. Quick time out. Come right back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With us are in news. I'm Keith
Oh,
Peters
that's
in
right.
Washington.
That's right.
President Trump has signed a promised executive action that will pay Transportation Security Administration employees after a bid to end the shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security abruptly fell apart in Congress. Trump signed the action Friday with an eye toward easing long security lines at many of the nation's top airports. Deep divisions were apparent over the Iran war as top diplomats from the group of 7 countries have met in France, but they agreed to call for an immediate halt to attacks against civilian populations and infrastructure after meeting Friday in France. The G7 meeting follows President Trump's repeated complaints that allies have ignored or rejected requests for help confronting Iran's retaliation. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 793 points. This is SRN News.
Imagine volunteering to go to
News Talk 96.1 and 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. Todd Lee, a coach with a 3-decade-long career and an overall winning record, will be the next head men's basketball coach for CSU Bakersfield. Lee was selected to help guide the team toward victories during a trying time for the program, which is having some publicity involving the arrest of a former assistant coach on sex charges. A 7-year-to-life sentence was handed Tony Rias of Bakersfield for an incident after he was involved in a wreck back
Earth, wind, and fire. 842-537-6842-KER. Again, I want to thank Donald Rowe. That was incredible. That is just a remarkable story. And I did meet Max Cleveland. He was a wheel-bound chair veteran who was a state senator. He tried for the U.S. Senate, and he was defeated by, I can't remember. We're talking about mid-'80s. But, and then I believe that Bill Clinton brought him into his administration as like a veterans official, as part of the cabinet. I don't know. I'll Google him, but he was a great guy. I met him on the campus of Emory University, and I specifically went there to meet him and had an opportunity to talk with him. And he was a great man, and I really, really wanted him. I was a liberal Democrat back in those days, and really, I can't remember who he lost that Senate seat to in the 80s. But that's just an incredible story. And to have, if you understand Vietnam, it makes it even more remarkable what she went through, because she talked about them not having boots because most of the injuries were mines being set by the Viet Cong. And, we witnessed it, guys coming home with no legs, no arms, and to have to deal with that. And I think the thing that you don't really think about when you think of war is that Donna was dealing with 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, kids who hadn't had their first drink yet. And now they're going home without their legs. And, that's why, boots on the ground is such a great debate right now, because we never really learned our lesson from Vietnam. I don't think. I really don't. Because I think we went back in Afghanistan and Iraq and did very similar things. And that's the problem that I have with Epic Fury. It's not the goal that I'm against. It's not the idea that we've attacked the Iranians that I'm against, because I think it's about time somebody do something about the greatest exporter of terrorism. But it's the manner in which you go about it. And it just seems that the Trump administration is doing this thing willy-nilly, and the president's temperament. I mean, you just heard how serious war is. And for the president yesterday, we'll bomb our hearts out or something like that, and just making flippant remarks and these things they're doing with emojis. I don't see how anybody can support it. I don't care what staunch supporter you are of the president, how you can support how he's going about this. And, I hope he's telling the truth when he says that they want to make a deal. I hope he's telling the truth, but I find it hard to believe that they want to make a deal at this point. I really do. But let's hope and pray we can wrap this thing up. Because if he does wrap this thing up quickly, and we can have a more moderate, because there's not going to be regime change, because we have no idea who is even in charge. We don't even know who to hand the keys off to. But if we can get a more moderate Iran that wants to be a player in that region without being a terror threat, then we've achieved something. Is that possible? I think it is. I absolutely think it is. And I think it's worth the effort. But it should have been clearly defined. It could have been defended. And you have given the Democrats cause to question this. The no exit strategy, the no seemingly combined message coming out of the White House, where you're hearing something from Pete Hegseth and you hear a different thing from Marco Rubio, and then you hear a completely different thing from the president. And that's not how you conduct a war. It's just not. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Let's check the board for the first time today.
JD is chimed in.
JD, what's really going on? He's probably still in Vegas.
It says, funny thing, at the Honor Flight tournament, I heard someone say Tiger was struggling with his driving.
Now that's just mean-spirited. Come on. That's my man, JD. Don't make that was funny, though. It was a base hit. Base hit up the middle, ground ball, got by the shortstop. But yeah, it's a sad day. If you're just joining us and you've somehow not been watching the news, Tiger Woods got arrested about 1:30 Eastern time. He blew a 0.0 alcohol-wise, so it's clearly a pill issue. And that's a good thing. That's the good thing. I mean, it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing that it wasn't liquor. It wasn't day drinking like an idiot. But that, I think, and again, we'll get Nick Ragone's thoughts in the 5 o'clock hour, but I think given his medical history, no, I was going to say something stupid. I was going to say people will give him a pass. No, people give you a pass for being on pills and maybe even having a problem with pills, given that you have to take pain medication, given the 17 surgeries you've had. But to jump in a car after what he's been through, it's one of the reasons I don't drive. My DUI was in 2006. And the only thing I've driven since are golf carts. And sometimes Turnip Seed doesn't let me drive the golf cart. No, I'm kidding. But I just don't understand. And I guess guys like that, alpha males like that, think, I'd pop a couple of opioids and I'm okay. And I got to be someplace. And I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. I'm shocked he has not addressed the media. Although, hell, 740, he may not even be out of jail yet. I don't know what the state laws are in Florida, but he literally may not be out of jail yet. It might be like an 8-hour, 1:30, 7:30. Yeah, he still might be in the hoosgow. He really might. And the fact that he denied, he refused to take a urine test shows clearly that there was something in the system that he didn't want him to find out about. And that's going to haunt him. Not that it matters, because I don't think whether he could drive or not, he's going to be driving anytime soon. But once you refuse to either take a breathalyzer or a urinalysis, I don't know, but he agreed for the breathalyzer. Will that get him off the hook for not driving, or does he still get punished for not taking the urine test?
He'll still get punished for not taking the urine test. Because again, at that point, yeah, they know it's not alcohol. Doesn't mean you're not on other stuff.
Well, clearly. But I don't remember taking. I didn't have to take a urine test, although they had the goods on me as soon as I got out of the car.
To be fair, things have probably changed since then.
Yeah, it's just horrible. What else you got?
Ralph and Chris, I have 2 lower herniated discs since 2002. I don't use them as an excuse to drive drunk, but it's okay for him since he's well-known big shot. So the double standard applies. Thanks for letting me express.
Well, yeah. You express your stupidity. Who's giving it? The man's still probably in jail, and you're already talking about that he got a pass, and that it's okay. Who said it's okay? You see how difficult it is to be a celebrity? Like, this guy couldn't pick Tiger Woods out in the lineup, but yet he's saying that he's probably still sitting in jail, and yet already you're saying that he got a pass, and it's that there's somebody on this planet that says it's okay? Who? Certainly not me. I mean, we can understand. I thought I just explained it, as a matter of fact. We can understand why he's on opioids, but I can never understand why a man who's got more money that he couldn't spend in 2 lifetimes doesn't have a chauffeur or a pal that drives him around. There's no excuse for this. And just because he's a powerful, rich black guy, you want to trash him when he's down on his luck? Well, that's the nature of life, I suppose. I don't know the guy. I don't know anything about the facts, but I'm going to trash him. Good for you, because you're flawless, right? You've never had any issues. Your bad back. What else you got?
So wait, Tiger got a pair of silver bracelets and possibly a night in jail, but Zach didn't? Tiger needs to call Mr. Sala.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
No, it would not.
I'd fly him in. Give him his $200,000 retainer. I bet he fights it.
That's probably why he didn't take
the urine test. What evidence do they have on just the testimony of the deputies that arrested him? I bet he fights it. And he'll bring in his physician who'll say he's on these kind of drugs, and I don't think a jury, given his past, is going to give him a pass. In fact, I think his celebrity, as we're witnessing now, I think his celebrity will work against him. Because there are a lot of white folks that never like Tiger, never gonna like Tiger because of who he is and the color of his skin. And I think we're hearing this in the text messages. One more, and let's take a break.
Tom Brady and Tiger Woods are the same age, and the golfer's body broke down first.
Goes to show you the nature of the NFL. Because you can't say that about 70s and 80s NFL quarterbacks. Go look at Terry Bradshaw's body. Go look at the guys that we grew up with in the 70s and the 80s. Look at their bodies. And Tom Brady is not in he's had some issues. But yeah, football is not the way it used to be. Remember when Terry Bradshaw was playing in Cleveland? And I forget who the guy was. Have you ever seen that video where the guy literally picked him up?
Oh, yeah.
Threw him,
suplexes him on the
and
floor.
Threw him back on his neck. And there was no penalty on that play.
Nope.
It's a whole different game, Jack. Now you breathe on a quarterback and it's a penalty. If your hand you're slapping at the ball and your hand hits his helmet, that's a penalty. So of course there's a big difference between 21st century quarterbacks and quarterbacks of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Go ask Archie Manning. Go ask Archie Manning to compare his health to both of his sons. It's night and day. Take a quick time out. We'll come right back. We've got some more information to get to on Iran. We're going to meet Lizette Gomez at the top of the hour, and then our good friend Nick Ragone will come in and chime in on Mr. Woods and give us an objective viewpoint of where does Tiger go from here and talk about some of the problems with addiction of opioids, a very, very common malady in the 21st century. In the meantime, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Massmaker.
A few home games left before the playoffs as the Condors host two big games this weekend. Tonight, it's $3 Beer Friday with Emo Night. Enjoy $3 Michelob Ultra and Mango Cart till the start of the second period. Plus music from the emo genre presented by KGET 17. Saturday is Bluey Night. Everyone's favorite healer will be on the concourse for pictures. Get the Bluey pack and meter before the game. Doors open at 6. The puck drops at 7. Fun starts at $15 at condorstown.com or by calling 324-PUCK.
This is Condorstown.
Every Thursday at 4:30, Daniel Petrie lightens up the broadcast with his incredible wit, pure intelligence, political knowledge, and obviously an absolute master of economics. That's why he's such an important cog on this broadcast. And you can hear him even on some of his off days when there are financial movements that we can't explain. We lean on my man from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And of course, you know what they're all about. They're all about retirement. I've turned at least 3 or 4 different people on to Messmaker Petrie Wealth Advisors, and they could not be happier. You could be happy as well with your situation in terms of the fourth quarter in your life if you call 395-9400, 395-9400, the offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Bring your visions to life with smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Even if you've given up on your New Year's resolutions, one health habit that's easy to keep is Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon, in stores at CVS, Walgreens, and now GNC.
Jackson Hewitt will do your taxes for $149 or less, no matter how complicated. So if you're a delivery driver / handyman / wedding DJ, you pay only $149 or less. We're talking to you, waitress.
Check, please.
/ pet sitter / influencer. Just $149 or less. Want your refund to work as hard as you? Hurry, don't wait. File with Jackson Hewitt today. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up. I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code WALK5 to get up to a $5 bonus on your first tank.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
So high. 842-537-6842 KERN. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to meet Lizette Gomez. The Bakersfield Women's Conference is coming up. She's going to tell us all about it. And our good friend Nick Ragone will chime in on Tiger Woods, talk about the Dodgers a little bit, talk about the North Carolina firing. They fired their head coach, which I think was a travesty. Lost their best player, had a 19-6 record, lost their best player, and got bounced. And so did Mr. Davis. In the meantime, let's go to the phones. Who you got?
Big Mike's on one.
Big Mike from Big Mike's Ragin' Barbecue. Calling today at 393-5507. Big Mike, what's really going on?
RB, how are you, sir?
I'm outstanding. What's popping?
Well, I just sent you a text about Barrett Robbins, who was the starting center for the Raiders. I think that you were living with me at the time.
I was.
You're correct. And then, was it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And I had massive bets with Larry Fields and the guys. They were all at the cigar shop. And then I doubled. We were trailing at half. I doubled down. And then the Raiders made a slight comeback in the third quarter. And then John Lynch made the interception that sealed it. And I think I lost about $200 that day. It was a bad day for the kid.
I know, but that's not what the phone call. Look, Barrett Robbins was the Raiders starting center. He went AWOL. He was gone. They had to start the backup guy who probably hasn't played all year. And the first thing he said to me was, "Oh man, Mike, they came out with their starting center Barrett is gone." I go, "What?" And you go, "What?" RB, you can't lose your center on Super Bowl. You can't.
No, you can't lose anybody.
Well, the center.
But yeah, the center.
All the plays, the defenses. He's your guy, and he was out. You go, "Uh-oh." And I get all the bets you did after that, but man, you can't lose your starting center. That's why I sent you the text. And he passed away today. A lot of mental health issues, whatever, but still, losing your center on Super Bowl Sunday, the biggest event on the planet.
Yeah, went to Tijuana to get high.
Yeah.
Night before the Super Bowl, never came back.
Never came back.
Should have known right then. Should have known right then. There was no way we were going to win without our starting center.
You can't.
No, you can't.
I get a receiver's out, maybe a defensive lineman, but your starting center who runs the offense, calls every defense, who's been there. I mean, he started like 10 years. Oh, my gosh. And I remember talking, you go, oh. You go, oh. I go,
Should have known. Should have known. Meantime, how's the catering business?
It's doing well, thank you. We're going to Five Dogs tomorrow for the Isabella. They have a search and rescue team. We're doing that tomorrow. I've done that for the last 7 years. But yeah, thank you, Rob. It's going well.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. And did you hear about Tiger?
Well, just now.
Yeah, he got popped. He's on pills again, driving around Florida like an idiot.
Okay, well, real quick on that. Turns the car over, speeding. I mean, he's in an enclave with very wealthy residents, correct?
Yeah.
He's speeding through there. So what's going to happen to him? They did arrest him. He didn't. He I think he wasn't drinking. He's high on drugs and stuff. Whatever. So what's going to happen? It's going to play in the when's the Masters, RB?
Like a week or two, at least. No further out than 2 weeks. I think it's like the second weekend of April.
Okay, is he qualified? I mean, obviously.
You're qualified for life once you win, but I don't think, even had he not got popped today, I don't think he was going to play. Donald Trump, who he's dating Donald Trump's former daughter-in-law, so he has some information on it. And Trump went on television last night and said Tiger's not playing. So, but he goes there because one of the traditions of the Masters is all the Masters winners that are still alive are invited back for the Masters dinner on Tuesday night before the tournament starts. So he'll definitely be there, but he's not playing.
RB, I did see Rory McIlroy. I saw his dinner menu. Did you see it?
I did not.
Oh, it's my sainted Italian mother. Oh,
Maron.
The best wines, the best food.
Of course.
Rory went out. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, so when you have that dinner, is it only Masters champions?
That's it. Nobody else is allowed in the room.
Wow.
From Jack Nicklaus to you name it. Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Ben Crenshaw, Ray Floyd, any Masters champion that's still alive. Probably the oldest, probably Jack, now that Arnie's gone. But
Did Larry Mize win the Masters?
Yes, he did. He chipped in. He's from Augusta, as a matter of fact, and he chipped in on the second hole to beat Greg Norman.
So Larry Mize, it's Chris Zucchini. Is he in?
Zucchini didn't make it. He didn't make the cut.
Make it?
No, he didn't make the cut.
Well, that's too bad for Chris.
Yeah.
You know. By the way, real quick, how's your golf game? How are you playing?
I played well in the tournament until I tried to smoke on Arturo Fuente and was at 35,000 feet, high as a kite. But until then,
don't do that.
I know, I was playing pretty well. And I drank a bunch of beer, so I've got a gout issue. Yeah, I'm on colchicine again. You believe that? It's in my hip now, Mike. It's in my hip.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No golf for me this weekend. Sucks. But what
All
are you
right,
going to do?
take care of yourself. I just wanted to, I mentioned that.
Well, yeah, thanks for the info.
Yeah, I love being on your show. And anyway, take care and hope your golf game gets better. It will.
Yeah.
And, wait, how the ladies? Any ladies showing up? Anybody?
I'm hanging out with Aaron tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right, Pop. We'll get you in studio next week.
Thank you, Ralph.
All right, man.
Good night.
All right, love you, Pop. It's my former roommate and best friend, Mike Airy. Yeah, we were living together during that Super Bowl. I'll never forget it. And I used to have a Raider walk that I would do whenever the Raiders would score a touchdown. I would do it for you. I really would, but my hip is killing me. I used to do like kind of a thing where I shook and danced whenever the Raiders would score. And we scored a lot of points that day. What did we lose? 49-28 or something like that? God, that was a god-awful day. And that was a really, really good Raider football team. Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, Tim Allen, Tim Duncan, Tiny Tim.
Dang it.
Thank you. Come on, there's so many Tim Matthews. There's so many Tims. But who am I?
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Nice. But Tim Brown was on that team. I mean, that was a really, really good football team. And unfortunately, our former head coach was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. By the way, have you noticed that Gruden is making a comeback? Have you seen him on like everything?
He's on Barstool now, so he's got a lot of.
He's on everything. I see him everywhere. And you know why he's doing that? Because I think he knows he's going to win his lawsuit against the NFL. And I think he is. That might be something we should talk about with Teresa Golder. Because I think he's got a case.
Oh, he does.
They selectively picked out emails and absolutely targeted him.
Oh, yeah.
And I truly believe, had we not lost him as our head coach, most recently, we'd have made it to the playoffs by now. I really believe that. Headed into the 5. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. Don't go anywhere.
AM 1180 KERN. Green Acres. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. 1 month into the war, Iran has control of the Strait of Hormuz.
The American-Israeli war on Iran has reached the 1 month mark, and Tehran is still hanging on and using insurgent-like tactics to maintain its pressure both on its enemies and the global economy. Now, on the economy, that pressure really comes from its chokehold it holds on the Strait of Hormuz. That's the narrow mouth of the Persian Gulf through which about a fifth of all oil and natural gas traded once passed. Now Iran controls who goes through the strait and when. And that pressure is largely from the threat of it using drones and missiles on ships passing through without permission. That has stopped that traffic.
That's correspondent John Gambrell reporting. The House Ethics Committee has determined that a Democratic congresswoman violated numerous rules and ethics standards.
After meeting for several hours Thursday night, the congressional panel found that Democrat Sheila Sherfilis McCormick of Florida committed 25 ethics violations. The allegations center around her receipt of millions of dollars from her family's healthcare business after Florida made an overpayment. It's a ruling that could give momentum to a GOP push to expel her from Congress. The committee said it would recommend a punishment in the coming weeks. Greg Clugston, Washington.
President Trump has signed a promised executive action that will pay Transportation Security Administration employees after a bid to end the shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security abruptly fell apart in Congress. Trump signed the action Friday with an eye toward easing long security lines at many of the nation's top airports. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 793 points, the Nasdaq dropped 459, the S&P 500 lower by 108. More at townhall.com.
A sacred season is approaching, a time to remember the night God delivered his people, Passover. This year, many of God's people will observe Passover under the shadow of war. Across Israel, red alert sirens pierce the air, and families rush to bomb shelters. Elderly fear they'll be left behind. Parents hold frightened children as explosions shake the night. But Passover reminds us that God hears the cries of his people and answers with love and compassion. That's why the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is on the ground in Israel, distributing food and emergency supplies, equipping bomb shelters, and caring for the elderly and Holocaust survivors, providing comfort and safety to God's children. Join Christians around the world in praying for Israel this sacred Passover season, asking God to bring protection and peace to the Holy Land. Stand with Israel in prayer today by visiting supportifcj.org. That's supportifcj.org.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Cal State University Bakersfield makes their decision. I'm Chris Davis, and they've decided to help boost their program with the hiring of Todd Lee as the next head men's basketball coach. He's got a career-winning record of 220-133 and has been coaching for 30 years, even helping CSUB win a championship in 1994. The program has some repair work to do. Its rep has taken a hit this year with the arrest of an assistant coach on pimping and child pornography charges. Todd Reyes has a lot of prison time to serve for what he did back on January 5th, 2021, when he was involved in a wreck at the intersection of Custer Avenue and South H Street in Bakersfield. It's not the wreck that has earned him a 7 years to life sentence plus 4 years, but what he did afterward, following a mother and a daughter who witnessed the wreck and shooting at them with a bullet going in the car and nearly hitting the daughter. It was in Tehachapi that 33-year-old Victor Farias was captured Thursday. Detectives from Bakersfield went there and picked him up to face charges of homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, child abuse, and domestic violence. That's in the Wednesday killing of a woman during a domestic incident at a house on College Avenue, after which Farias fled.
Duke down 40-39 at halftime.
40-39?
Yep. They just gave up a big run. That's why I'm excited about it. But
I'd love to see him get bounced. I don't give a fuck anymore.
True.
Are you out?
No.
You're still alive?
Technically, yes.
Who you got winning it?
Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
I have to bank on the other three making it, though. other two. I need Michigan State and Iowa State to make it to the Final Four.
It's no fun. I don't even feel like watching it now.
You can just watch basketball for the sake of good basketball.
You shoot him a mile away, you got to get him close like this. Bing! You blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast, final hour of the week as we wrap up another 4 days of outstanding radio broadcasting. We were out at Bakersfield Country Club on Monday with our 4th annual Honor Flight Open. And again, thank you all who participated, our sponsors, Gin Park, Ed Pro at Bakersfield Country Club, Paul Guerra, Jeff Campbell at Double Eagle Golf, just everybody, all hands on deck, our incredible staff. Everybody was working hard. Mr. Burdick, Flores, everybody was out there. Scott Cox had his butt out there. It was a great, great afternoon. And of our 4 tournaments, this was by far the best. We were sold out about 2 weeks before the tournament. And don't forget, our Honor Flight fundraiser is coming up in September, and we've got a unique thing we're going to do this year. Well, it's not unique. It's actually, we've done it before, where we've got a goal this year. We're not just going to randomly raise money. We've raised close to $350,000 in 9 years, raising about $35,000 last year. But what we're going to do this year is there is a Desert Storm memorial that's being built, and there's going to be a specific flight leaving in October for that flight. We're going to try to fund the whole flight, just as you all funded the entire Native American flight. We raised $53,000, which footed the bill for that entire flight. So that's our goal going into our September. I believe it's our 10th annual, maybe our 9th or 10th. I'll check the numbers. But either the 9th or 10th annual fundraiser that we've done this, as we've talked about so many times. Started about a decade ago when JR was my producer at the time, and we just said, let's throw $100 at Honor Flight. And then later in the show, Kevin McCarthy, then Assemblyman, offered $1,000, and we raised $17,000 that first year. The next year was $35,000, the next year was $45,000, and our pinnacle one year was $60,000. And as I just mentioned, 2 years ago, we raised $53,000 and was able to foot the bill for the entire flight. So that's going to be our goal in September, to fund that entire Desert Storm flight. It's a charter. They got about 100. I think Lily told me they got about 100 folks. So we're going to start pumping that up in coming up this summer and heading into September. In the meantime, the Bakersfield Women's Business Conference is. Please stand by. I need to take this. So bad. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. The Bakersfield Women's Business Conference is coming to town, and joining us, tell us all about it, is Lizette Gomez via the Rogers Brandon Global Telephone Network. Lizette, thanks for coming on the program.
No, thank you for inviting me on the program. I really appreciate it.
Everybody knows about this, but don't be presumptive. Tell folks what the Bakersfield Women's Business Conference is all about.
Well, first of all, one of the largest conferences that comes to Kern, that is in Kern County. It is also put together by a local Kern County woman. About 1,400 in attendance. It's about mentoring, motivating, growth, learning about entrepreneurship, being a business owner, being a leader in our community. It's just an amazing conference that comes into Bakersfield.
Tell us what all goes on, because I find the workshops, we used to broadcast from there every year. Haven't done it in a while, but I found the workshops that I would kind of eavesdrop on fascinating.
Yes, we have a lot of workshops. We have many speakers. They come from all over, but a lot of local workshops, from anything from wellness to financial literacy. You have all types of different subjects that you can learn about, and they are great. I think this year we will be having 3 sessions, so you'll be able to hear from different ladies all day long. And then, of course, we have our amazing speaker this year, Sophia Amoroso.
Tell us her story.
So Sophia Amoroso is the original girl boss. She did have a Netflix series made out about her. she started her own business when she was down in the dumps, basically, had nothing going on, and she decided to sell a piece of clothing that she got at a thrift store on eBay. And she created a multi-million dollar industry, almost $1 billion industry, just learning the hard way. But unfortunately, she lost most of it, and she had to rebrand herself and recreate herself, and she had to learn from all her mistakes. So, original girl boss. So I'm going to be excited to have her there.
Yeah. And tell us your story. What do you do and how are you associated with the conference?
So I've been part of the board for 4 years. I do own a local staffing agency, Cazador. I am the chairperson for the conference. What I do is I give back to my community a lot and trying to also run a business while doing it. So that's a little bit about me.
And what do you tell to young women that you want to see come out to this conference? What can they glean from it?
You know what? You need to come to this conference, whether you know a little bit about it, whether you know a lot. You need to come to this conference if you want to be a leader, if you want to be a business owner, if you're already a leader and you want to learn a better way of handling situations, if you just feel like you need to be mentored, this is a place to be. You should definitely come. The energy is going to be really great.
Yeah. And what time? And give us the date again.
It's going to be on April 23rd. It's going to start about 7:30 in the morning is registration. You come on in and get registered, and it will be at the Dignity Arena.
Outstanding. It's always a big event here. We appreciate you taking time and talking about it with us. And good luck. I'm sure we'll see you over come April.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. Lizette Gomez. Yeah, we used to broadcast from there every year. I loved it. Being surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of women. But it's fascinating, some of the workshops they have. I was there the one year, they had Layla Ali out there. Have you ever met her?
I have not.
Ali's daughter? Wow. She is an Amazon. And I would not want to fight her, Jack. She just looks mean. Like Ali, you could never tell that Ali was a fighter. You know what I mean? He just had a gregarious look about him and was a pretty boy. And she's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. She just looks, she's like me. I have a bad resting face. And she is a pretty mean, she scowls a little bit, just a little bit. Let's read a couple text messages and get to the break.
We're actually bare at the moment.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break. Should we get Mr. Ragone in now?
It's up to you.
Since we've got some time. Yeah, I don't think we need the whole half hour. Let's give him a call. We're going to take a quick time out, come right back and talk with Nick Ragone. If you have not heard, Tiger Woods was arrested for driving impaired. He was not drinking, but his ravaged body, I suppose, demands that he is on painkillers, but that does not give you carte blanche to drive high. And it's not the first time that Tiger's done this. He clipped a car and flipped his SUV. Apparently crawled out of the SUV, so he's all right. But this is just another chink out of a great legacy that he's beginning to destroy. We'll get the thoughts of our good friend Nick Ragone when we come back. It's the Ralph Bailey Show, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Monday edition of the First Look program, we'll have the hot list. So hot right now, the hot list. We'll talk jobs with America's Job Center at Kern. We've got state-of-the-art news, traffic, and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the internet at kernradio.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Oddly, one of the things that I rarely talk about when I talk about KC Steakhouse is lunch. If you work downtown, if you work for the county or wherever on Truxton, it's not very far and it's real quick and it's very convenient. And the menu is similar, just smaller portions, and it is outstanding. And the variety on the menu that Chef Daniel has put together now is simply unbelievable. It's mostly a large groups that come to Casey Steakhouse. Not everybody's feeling red meat to celebrate someone's birthday or an anniversary or whatever the event may be. And that's why Chef Daniel has advanced the menu. So there is Italian food, I love the fettuccine Alfredo with chicken. The lobster mac and cheese is everybody's favorite. The fish dishes, the mahi-mahi, the swordfish, the halibut. Where would you rather be than on F Street? And don't forget about the Stockyard next door for meetings, banquets, or just having dinner and having some of the craft cocktails that are served next door. It's Casey's Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Let me paint you a picture. It's midnight. Sirens blare. You have only seconds to grab your child and run. Now imagine you're elderly. Getting downstairs feels impossible. And after all of that, you end up in a bomb shelter for hours, even days, because you can't make that trek again. This is what's happening across Israel as Operation Epic Fury continues. Children are being traumatized. Families are exhausted. Homes have been destroyed. That's why the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews is there, on the ground, bringing food, emergency equipment, care for children, and help for the elderly, and supplying bomb shelters and medical centers with critically needed essentials. If you've ever wondered what it looks like to stand for Israel and stand for good against evil, this is it. Now, please act. Give $45 right now to rush life-saving essentials to the vulnerable under fire. Text the word SIREN to 91999 to make your donation. That's the word SIREN to 91999.
Are you looking for a one-of-a-kind way to honor your team or commemorate a special event? Look no further than Martinez Challenge Coins and More, the premier challenge coins and specialty metals company in Bakersfield. With years of experience and a commitment to quality, Martinez creates custom challenge coins that are truly exceptional. Whether you need coins for your military unit, law enforcement agency, or corporate team, they have you covered. Their expert team will work closely with you to design a coin that reflects your unique vision. From intricate artwork to personalized details, Martinez ensures that every coin is a true work of art.
Hi, I'm Ray Martinez, owner and founder of the company. So don't settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary.
Contact Martinez Challenge Coins and More today and let them bring your vision to life. Visit their website at martinez-martinezllc.com or call 661-304-9589. Martinez Challenge Coins and More, where excellence meets craftsmanship.
I'm JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, weekdays at 2 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
We are days away from the Masters, but of course that is not why we have dialed up Philadelphia, PA, Commonwealth of, to talk to our good friend Nick Ragone. Again, if somehow you've been stuck in your office and you haven't been looking at the news, Tiger Woods was arrested about 1:30 East Coast time, driving under the influence of apparently pills. He blew a 0.0, so at least he was not day drinking, but just another chink in the armor. Nick, your comments, sir. What do you think?
You know, first, I'm glad that he's safe and that everybody's safe. That he's hurt.
Yeah.
The last time he was in an accident, it was obviously much worse. So I'm just glad that he's safe and he didn't hurt anybody. It's, you know, the word that comes around is just sad. It seems like every time Tiger turns a corner, there's something lurking around the other side. And, you know, he was on TGL, I think it was last week or was it earlier?
Just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Just a couple days ago.
He didn't play great golf, but he just seemed good and he seemed happy and, you know, trying to make a run at the Masters. And it's, you know, like you said, it's good that he blew triple zeros, as the police said in Palm Beach. And obviously they're going to sort out whatever other issues he has.
Well, you're an attorney. He didn't take the urine test.
Right.
So how can he fight this in some way?
You know, I don't know what the law is in Florida. I mean, I'm not even sure if the urine test, certainly the breathalyzer is, I think, mandatory. I'm not sure. I don't really know 100%. I mean, look, you know, the last time he had another DUI, I think.
09.
Issue. Yeah. Well, no,
17.
The accident.
Yeah, that was the Elin 7-iron to the grill. It was 2017.
He had another one in Florida where, 2017, where he thought he was driving Orange County. Remember that one?
Yeah, thought he was in L.A.
Yeah, I thought he was in L.A. So, you know, look, I don't want to speculate on anything other than say, hey, I'm glad he didn't hurt anybody. I'm glad he didn't hurt himself. I'm just sad because, he's doing so much work with the tour as part of the performance, the select committee on events, whatever they're calling it. But and he seems to have found a rhythm, like with the new CEO Brian Rowlap, and he really seems invested in the tour's future, and he still will be.
Yeah.
And this just I did not have this on my bingo card. Not that anybody would, but it's just sad. That's the only word that comes to mind.
And the incredible work that he's doing with his foundation, and it looked like his social life had settled down. He's dating Donald Trump's former daughter-in-law. She was there.
I tell you, I saw Tiger about 2 months ago at Cobb's Creek in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Breaking for his second TGR Learning Lab, biggest one outside of California, right here in Philly.
Yeah.
And so we were at an event, and he looked great and sounded great, and he's doing great work in Philadelphia at Cobb's Creek, which is a historic sort of black course. In fact, that's where Teddy Rhodes learned to play golf.
Really?
And I don't know how I didn't tell you that. I was at an event, and he talked eloquently, without notes, about Teddy Rhodes and what he meant to him. And so, long way of saying, he's doing so much good, and it's just sad.
It really, really is. Is he, if for no other reasons than appearances and PR, does he have to immediately get into rehab?
It's a good question. I don't want to speculate on that because it's assuming there's been, we don't know. I don't know. I really don't want to speculate.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly, look, I would say to anybody, if you are, if you've had chronic pain for a long time, that, and you've been dealing with it, that, there's complexities with that. And so I hope, I hope he gets well. And I hope that whatever issues he might have, he solves them for sure. I think we all hope that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just, that's sad is the only word that pops up.
It really is sad. It's a little bit heartbreaking. And he's really done, it's sad in lots of senses, but it seems like he's pivoted pretty nicely from not being a competitive golfer anymore, but still being relevant through his work with the tour and on the events committee. And he's found a leadership role with the players. Rory's kind of stepped back, right, because he's focused on golf. And Tiger's really filled the void. Remember a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Rory was kind of the leader of the tour. Now it's undisputably Tiger.
Yeah. Do you expect him to kind of go away for a while, or do you think he continues the work that he's doing?
That's all a possibility. I think, I wouldn't be surprised if he went away for a while, if he had an issue and needs to deal with it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's closed-lipped about it and just business as usual. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up at the Masters. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Tiger keeps counsel with, a pretty small inner circle. And so he, I'm sure, it is complicated by the fact that, Charlie is a competitive teenage golfer. He's obviously dating Vanessa Trump. He's close to the Trumps. And so there's even more complexity in his universe.
Yeah. I don't think there's any way in the world he goes to the Masters, if for no other reason so as not to make that week about him. Because if he shows up, that's what the first couple of days are going to be all about. Don't you think?
I mean, but if you remember in 2010, he came up, he played. Remember, he finished fourth.
Yeah.
Look, I agree, but I also like what I say. There's a metaphysical certainty that he's not showing up. I wouldn't say that either. I mean, sometimes he focuses when things are noisy in his personal life. The one place where it's calm is on the golf course. So who knows? I wouldn't speculate, but I mean, I think he might still go up there for the champions dinner. I don't.
Yeah, you're right because the way they handle the media, it won't be that big a deal. You're right.
It won't be, and it's always it is. He came back in 2009, and if you remember, I can't remember who else. Maybe it was Phil. I mean, they do control the media there, so it's actually probably the easiest place for anybody to come back to because it's so controlled.
Yeah. Speaking of the devil, you want to give us an early preview? We're going to talk to you again the week of, but you want to give us an early preview? Anybody standing out in your mind in terms of the Masters?
I mean, I will say I like Bryson DeChambeau. He's won twice on LIV. Not that everybody's paying attention to that, but he beat Rahm in a playoff, and he came back and won another thing. Scotty, what's interesting to me is Scotty is kind of struggling for Scotty, right? Rory has a back issue. So, number 1 and 2 players look a little bit off their game. Bryson's playing great golf, so that's interesting. I think Rahm is playing good golf. I think that's interesting. I think Colin Morikawa seems a little bit banged up. Xander Schauffele hasn't been playing great golf. I mean, I don't think this one is as wide open as I can remember. There's no clear cut. With Scotty struggling, it's not like he's a slam dunk, and I think his wife is about to give birth again. So, like, he's got stuff going on in his life. I don't see anybody. This isn't one of those ones where it's like a clear front runner. I think it's going to be a wide open one.
I do too. What about some of these new cats? The kid that won the Players and some of these new guys that are coming around, and you think somebody could emerge as a first-time winner?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I like Akshay Bhatia. I think he's been playing great golf. He's been playing fantastic golf, and I would not be surprised if he's right there. I'm blanking on who won the Players now.
I know. That's why I said that. I couldn't remember his name. Chris something. Chris, hang on a second. Hey, Siri, who won the Players Championship?
Young.
Oh, Cameron Young.
Cameron Young. Not
Chris.
Chris.
Like Chris.
Cameron
Cameron. I mean, I like Cameron Young a lot.
I do
playing
too.
good golf right now. I love that pause at the top of his swing. I think you should try to get that.
Yeah. And by the way, let's end on my favorite topic. I sent you a couple of pictures of my horrendous swing. What do you think? Can you give me some help?
I don't think it's horrendous. I think if I had to give you one tip,
yes,
I would say you got to get width in your swing. So you have no width. So it's a very vertical swing, meaning like, so you call that a flying right elbow. I don't think that really is. But what it really is like you have very little width in your swing. I sent you a video of mine.
Yeah, I saw that.
So like, just look at my swing, how far I extend behind the ball and create width. And so because you have no width, you're coming down on it very vertically. And, look, when your timing's okay, I think it's okay.
Right.
But like you have no margin of error. If you're on a track, man, like your angle, you want to zero out. Like you're coming in at like 3 or 4 degrees. Like it's because you don't have a lot of depth to your swing.
Yeah. So I need to flatten it out a little bit?
Not even flatten it out. I wouldn't say that because I would say you need to create more width. Like you need to, I would almost say to you, like, imagine you're trying to sway off the ball like Curtis Strange. Like go watch a video of Curtis. Remember his swing? He used to like sway off the ball.
Yeah.
But like you need more lateral width to just get deeper and behind it. If you do that, the club will get deeper and behind you and you won't be nearly as steep. And I think you'll make way more consistent contact.
Yeah.
And so like I would just go watch Curtis Strange's video, and that'll give you kind of the mental impression of like you see how far behind he gets behind the ball. Even I was watching Tigers and Rory in slow motion today because I wanted to see something, and I was shocked how far their heads move behind the ball. Even Adam Scott, they move like a good. I would say their head comes a good foot off the ball because they're working so hard to extend behind it. And then look at your video. I was watching yours. Your head doesn't move at all, which is nice, but like it's because you're not extending at all.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good tip. It really, really is. Because, these 220-yard drives just ain't cutting it, man. Just ain't cutting it. I got like 170, 180 to every par 4 that I play. And,
it's hard to play that way.
It is.
You got to get that a lot.
Absolutely. And it's just not happening. All right. Well, I guess we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks. And I'm looking forward to it. What are you doing this weekend? Just being curious.
I'll be playing golf on Sunday with John Spagnola at Philly Country Club where we just got in.
Of course you will be.
Spagnola, he of Raiders of Super Bowl fame.
I remember.
I told you the story, but like he said 2 of those 3 interceptions to Rod Martin were intended for him.
Right.
So I always remind him of that.
That's funny. Do you want to hear a great, I don't know if it's great, but I heard a comic the other day and he said, isn't it interesting that they call a tournament in the Deep South the Masters? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He was like, it should have. He said, I'm sure back in the 30s, they'd probably call it the masses, but that's all. So sorry.
That is funny.
Yeah. All right, man. Love you. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
All right. Talk soon.
All right, Bob. Nick Ragone. Quick timeout. Last half hour of the week. It's the Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN, where we're streaming live right here at kernradio.com. I would stick around if I you.
96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Attacks have appeared to intensify in the war in the Middle East, including strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities and an Iranian missile attack that wounded U.S. service members and damaged planes at a base in Saudi Arabia. In the United States, President Trump reiterated his desire for Saudi Arabia and Israel to normalize ties when the war ends, though significant obstacles remain. Authorities say Tiger Woods showed signs of impairment at the scene of a car crash in which he struck another vehicle and rolled his Land Rover. Woods was arrested on suspicion of DUI after the crash Friday. The Martin County Sheriff's Office said Woods was not injured. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 793 points. The NASDAQ dropped 459. More details at srnnews.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm Chris Davis. 33-year-old Victor Farias, the suspect in the killing of a woman on College Avenue Wednesday night in Bakersfield, was captured Thursday in Tehachapi, say police. That's where he wrecked his car soon after the murder. He's back in Bakersfield to face charges of homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, child abuse, and domestic violence. Tony Reyes gets 7 years to life for shooting at a mother and daughter who witnessed a wreck that he was in back in January of 21 at the intersection of Custer Avenue and South 8th Street. Todd Lee has been selected as the new head men's basketball coach at Cal State Bakersfield. He has a career record of 220 to 133. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on FM 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez. Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his long-standing and most experienced and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65. Thank you.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298. I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
LifeLock, how can I help?
The IRS said I filed my return, but I haven't.
1 in 4 tax-paying Americans has paid the price of identity fraud.
What do I do? My refund, though. I'm freaking out.
Don't worry, I can fix this.
LifeLock fixes identity theft guaranteed and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way.
1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
The Armstrong and Getty Show, weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
KERN. So again, our top story of the day is the fact that the Senate agreed to pay TSA agents. However, the House did not agree. And they are going on a 2-week Easter vacation. So unless the president does what he has threatened to do, and that is sign an executive order that would start paying TSA agents as early as Monday, It doesn't look good. Here is the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
This gambit that was done last night is a joke. I'm quite convinced that it can't be that every Senate Republican read the language of this bill.
What I don't understand is that ICE is paid for until 2029. And why these guys, I mean, it's the art of compromise. By definition, you have to give up something to get something. And that's changed in American politics. It's like, this is what we want, this is what you want, and neither will the two come together. Here is more from the Speaker.
What we are going to present and what we're going to vote on this floor, our Rules Committee is working through this right now. We're going to put a clean, simple, continuing resolution that will go until May 22nd. It's just a number of weeks to allow for all those who sacrificially serve the country and protect other Americans. All these agencies, 10 agencies under the Department of Homeland Security, will continue at their current funding levels to make sure that they are protected. We're going to send that over to the Senate, and we hope that they'll accept that. They can do it in record time, just like that, with the unanimous consent. They could do that as early as Monday.
Well, that'd be nice if they were going to be there on Monday, but most of them are in their home districts already or already getting on a plane. They're going on Easter break. And Mike Johnson knew that. So again, unless the president does something in an emergency, I would not get on a plane for the next couple of weeks. And it's Easter and it's spring break. And kids are going to be getting on planes going to Fort Lauderdale and Mexico, et cetera, et cetera. It is going to be a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And the idea that these guys and women in the House and the Senate can't put something together to make this happen is a travesty. And again, I've told you, the automatic way to fix this is whenever there is a government shutdown, they don't get part of their $175,000 salary. And how journalists inside the Beltway haven't truly investigated how Congress members come in as, you know, upper middle class people and leave multimillionaires. Almost to a person. It is the biggest grift in America, and nobody wants to examine it. Nobody wants to examine it. How Jasmine Crockett came in as an attorney. She had a small bank account with a couple of $100,000 in it. Now she's a multimillionaire with 3 homes, one in Houston, one in Georgetown, and one someplace got a vacation home. On a $175,000 salary, really? You've got 3 homes, and you're not even making $250,000? Yeah, right. Something terribly, terribly wrong inside our Beltway in D.C. 842-5376, 842-KERN. What do you got?
We are bare at the moment, but St. John's is now stretched to 53-44.
Over Duke?
Over Duke.
I would love to see St. John's beat Duke. I really would.
13-0 run in the last 3 minutes.
Wow. That's incredible.
Rick Pitino.
I love Rick Pitino. I saw Carlos Boozer on
Eisen?
No, he was on Cowherd this morning.
Oh, he's on Cowherd too?
Yeah. And he was talking about the difference of the game, and he's got 2 sons playing for Duke, right?
They're twins.
Oh, that's right.
Well, and technically he has a 3rd son as well that plays baseball, but I think he's at a college here in California.
Yeah. Well, that is incredible. I have lost it. I'm in the middle of the pack in a different bracket that I'm in with Chris Zucchini and those people. And I needed Houston. I took a shot. I knew a lot of people weren't going to take Houston. So I thought I'd be the outlier, and maybe if the Cougars got on a roll. But you know what? Kelvin Sampson has always been kind of a disappointing coach. He always gets them close, but he's never gotten them there. I don't think he's ever won a national championship. Because I don't know about you, but that's how I break my bracket down. I break it down on the team, the history of the team. But one of my biggest factors is the coach.
Yeah, same.
I mean, because Izzo is there every freaking year out of Michigan State.
Calipari.
Pitino is there every freaking year, no matter where he is. Calipari, doesn't matter where. There's certain coaches, doesn't matter where they are. Calipari and Pitino are classic, whether in Kentucky or St. John or wherever they are. They get their ball clubs to at least the 8, And so guys like that, I bet on absolutely. Do you hear who's going to be the next North Carolina coach?
I've not heard.
Billy Donovan.
Ooh.
He's going to leave the Bulls, which I think would be brilliant. I think he's a better collegiate coach. What, he won twice down in Florida?
Yeah.
I think he won 2, right? 2 NCAA championships?
Yeah, because he was there for both with Joakim Noah and Al Horford.
So I think that's a perfect fit. Because I think it's time North Carolina stopped getting off this thing where it's like you got to be alumni to coach here. And Huey Davis was a disaster.
Syracuse is on that right now, and it does kind of bug me. Although Jerry McNamara is the new head coach, that might be good.
Yeah. And CSUB got a new basketball coach.
Todd Lee. He was just on Greg Kerr's show this morning.
Oh, was he really?
Yep.
Good. I'm not so certain I would want to get involved in that athletic department right now. But I guess a gig is a gig. But that athletic department is, didn't they just lose another coach?
I think it was someone in the softball team.
Yeah, the women. No, was it? It was a women's coach. I know that. She left. Was it the volleyball coach or the softball coach? They've got some issues. You know, they got an alum, Kevin Mays, on trial as we speak for some hideous crimes. And they've had some other issues with their softball team. And it is it hasn't been the same since good old Rudy left. Legendary athletic director while I was there in the 80s, or in the 90s, I should say. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap this thing up and head into what's going to be a great weekend. Hopefully my hip is ready for golf on Sunday morning with Mark Swaim and the boys. Mark, if you're listening, did you check your phone? You butt dialed me the other day. And I'm sorry that it says that I listened in for about 2.5 minutes. Because I listened in for about 2.5 minutes. I was trying to figure out where you were. It sounded like you were playing golf. I had just gotten off the course with Mr. Turnipseed. But hopefully my hip will be all right by Sunday morning. And tomorrow I'm having dinner with a badass Marine. I'm excited about that. And tonight, let it be Lowenbrow. Remember that commercial? Quick timeout. We're coming right back, wrapping this thing up. Keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. On Monday, Dr. Jeet Singh will join us, along with our good friend Kathy Abernathy. And when is the finals? When are the finals?
Not until next week.
Next Monday?
Yes.
All right.
Because Elite Eight is this weekend, and then Final Four is next weekend, and then the final is Monday.
So we got games tonight.
Yes.
And then they'll pick it back up when tomorrow?
Tomorrow and Sunday, yes.
Wow.
I remember correctly.
Great weekend of sports. Great weekend of sports. And the Masters is looming out there in a couple of weeks. Excited about that. Final break of the week. Wrapping up another 4 days of outstanding radio broadcasting right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1180 KRN. And we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Monday edition, Clay and Buck will break down the absolute latest going.
Ready whenever you are.
God, it's like it's getting worse. I almost stayed home. If Bentley was going to do the show, I was going to stay home. I really was. 3, 2. Three, two. There's a tremendous responsibility in being a radio talk show host, and you've got to understand the ins and outs of communications law and what you can say responsibly and what you can't say irresponsibly. And it is a big, big bully pulpit that we try to use for good, but at times, now let me not. 3, 2. Believe it or not, it is a great responsibility doing a radio talk show. It's a very powerful bully pulpit. And that's why to do this, you should be trained in communications law and know what you can and cannot say irresponsibly or responsibly. And I take that incredibly seriously, believe it or not. And this is a very powerful medium that could get you into trouble if you don't understand what is responsible talk and what is reckless, irresponsible talk. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Monday TRBS. Well, it's a Monday. Dr. Jeet Singh will join us along with our good friend Kathy Abernathy and whatever happens over the weekend right here on the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. I'll see you Monday.
Guaranteed, and gets your money back with up to $3 million in coverage.
I'm so relieved.
No problem. I'll be with you every step of the way. 1 in 4 was a fraud-paying American. Not anymore. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
I'm
the threat that's already inside the house. In the closet, under the bed, in the car. But I don't want your money or your TV. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. I'm patient and quiet. I don't sleep. You can't call the cops on me. You can't even see me. I'm the threat of family fire. And as long as your guns aren't stored securely, I'll be there. Protect your family. Secure all your guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, live 9 to noon. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Okay, do it now. We got to talk to somebody real quick. Let's just take a second. 842-5376, our phone number, 842-KERN. Going to be a beautiful weekend. Temperatures in the upper 80s. And again, I'm praying to God I can make a recovery.
Mike Hart. Sorry, I can't get to the phone.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. Try one more time. Come on, Grandpa. I know you're listening. Answer the damn phone. Try one more time. Although that went straight to voicemail, huh? Which means either got it off or it's dead. Let's see if we can get Mike Hart in here. See, now it's ringing. I knew he would. Him pass him a chance to come on the radio? Are you kidding? Oh, he's playing hard to get. He's playing hard to get. I'll let Bailey just waller for a second.
Hi, you've reached Mike Hart.
All
Sorry,
right.
I can't get.
You got to hang up on the other one. Is that him right there? Get old Gramps in here. Grandpa!
I don't know how to work this thing.
Grandpa!
How do you work this damn thing?
Congratulations, Gramps.
It's Pop.
Pops, is that what you're going to have him call you?
Yeah, I'm Pop.
You and Lori are already working on what the child will call you.
No, well, it depends on what the child says first.
True that.
but I'm not taking that chance.
Because, you know,
there's been some really just ugly things that have come out of allowing that.
Well, let me make a cultural observation, and y'all can call me racist if you want to. But black folks call their grandparents grandma and grandpa. White folks, y'all come up with all kind of mima, papa, poo poo. Y'all come up with all kind of different names for grandma and grandpa.
Do you want to be called poo poo? I don't.
I don't either. What would you want? Well, first, tell them the official news, the weight, the gender.
All right, this is yeah. I've been holding off on the pictures because they haven't passed copyright laws and stuff. But Michael and Emily, are you feeling old now, Ralph? Michael and his wife Emily had a little girl, Nora Lane Hart, born
Good name.
17 pounds, 14 ounces, 20 inches long. She was. I don't know if I should. No, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
But everything was great. It took a while. I'll say that. And all the moms out there know what I mean when I say it took a while.
What, long labor?
Oh yeah. And so yeah, she emerged and she's fantastic and just such a little bundle. You know, your heart just melted. And it's our first girl because we just had 2 boys.
Right. That's incredible. Well, congratulations, Pop. I'm excited for you.
Kids having now.
That's crazy. Michael Hart is a grandfather.
You knew Michael when he was
like he was 6 years old.
He was a stroller.
Yeah, I remember when he was born.
Yeah.
I remember when he was born. And now he's a father.
Yeah.
We are so old, Mike. We really are, dude. I mean, we're like on the 14th hole.
Hey.
I'm telling you. We're deep into we're not only on the back 9, we're deep into the back 9.
Yeah, okay, but maybe we stop off at the snack bar for a little while.
I hope so. I hope we can slow it down a little bit. It's scary, man. Kids having kids. Good googly. Ugly.
You should do a show with all your friends who have had kids who are now having kids. You ought to do a show like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really, really
Make
is.
sure it's a Friday. Make sure it's a Friday.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell Lori the same.
I will. Now I'm headed to scream at the Condor games.
Oh, that's right. It's a big night at Condors.
11 games to play, baby. That's it.
Yeah.
7 at home.
I got to get out there. I have not been to a game this year. I got to get out there.
Yeah, they've got a really exciting team. You'd enjoy it.
And it's $3 beer night tonight, is it not?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you are.
I'm hip. I know what's going on in this game.
Well, it's better for you to go to $3 beer night than bluesy night tomorrow.
No, I would not be at bluesy night, but I would
Bluey, not bluesy.
Bluey. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bluey. Yeah, I got that wrong. I apologize for that.
Bluesy night, yeah.
Not boozy night.
I've had the $20 cocktails there. I'll tell you. No, I'm not gonna booze it up at.
No. It's $3. Oh wait, you got the gout though.
Yeah, I can't do beer. That's why I got gout now. Drinking 805s at our golf tournament. That's why I'm limping right now.
See that? I'm glad I wasn't there. Then I wouldn't have been. I would have been limping right next to you.
Yeah, but thanks for sending out a reporter. She was outstanding.
Yep. Well, of course.
Yeah, and I played with your and I played with your boss. I forgot about that.
You put in a good word for me.
You know I did. And I've known Galindo since he was 20 years old. He's a great kid. We had a ball. We really had a good time.
I love how you call him a kid.
I know, and he's a 45-year-old man. Yeah, you're right. But to me, on the 14th hole, he's on the 3rd hole. He's a kid, even though he's a middle-aged man. Isn't that incredible? That's crazy.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
All right, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. And again, congratulations.
I will. I think I get to. Tell me, does this bother you? If you go, that's right. Who's a pretty good? Yes, you are.
Yeah, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I think you should talk to children.
Should I talk to her and say, Nora, you're a week old?
That's right.
It's about time we got yourself together.
Yes, I believe that. I've got no kids, so everybody's going to say, what do you know, Bailey? You've never had any kids. But I've helped raise my sister. I was 10 years older than, and I have 3 nephews that I think I had a say in, particularly my oldest nephew. Right. And I just believe in talking to a child without this. No. You talk to them. That's how you raise articulate children. You start speaking to them and enunciating at an early age. Just saying.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I need somebody to take over for me. I can't be screaming at Condor fans for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
So I should talk to the Condor fans in that voice.
Yeah.
Who's going to make some noise tonight? Yes, you are.
No. Talk to the horses like that, not to your children.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, have a good weekend.
All right, you too. Mike Hart, grandfather, and overall good egg. Wow, that is amazing. I remember, and Mike denies this, but I remember when Mike was a single cat and he was afraid he was going to end up like Ralph Bailey. He would be like, I'm going to end up with a pizza box at the foot of my bed and beer cans and blah, blah, blah. And he bumped into Lori, and they've been together ever since. They've been together. I mean, this is the 90s when they met. She is the owner-operator of Outback Steakhouse. So if you happen to go in there for dinner, congratulate her on becoming a grandmother again. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Dodgers got a big win last night. It was a great way to start the season. They get their rings tonight. I know I told you that I thought it was last night. It's tonight is the ring ceremony. I don't like the gold. There are two colors that everybody's in love with in sports, Chris Burdick. What are they?
Gold is definitely one.
Yeah, what's the other one?
Black?
Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody wants to go black.
Yeah.
Everybody somehow wants to go black. They put almost every team somehow puts that in their array of uniforms, that they have a black version of their uniform. But I don't like the gold. The gold bills and the gold trim on the. I don't like it. I'm a traditionalist. I like the old, just crystal white with the blue Dodger emblem over the top. I do not like the gold. I love the pregame. I got to watch. I DVR'd it, so I got to watch the entire pregame. And I think Clayton Kershaw is about to enter into a great career. I thought he was outstanding. They had him sitting. Kirsten Watson sits just to the right of the dugout, and she does her reports from there. And that's where they put CK. And I thought he was outstanding. I thought he was great in the pregame, and I thought it was great the way they used him. And I mean, he was predicting pitches, and that's what I like, to put a pitcher in the booth and tell me what this guy is thinking. And consistently, Clayton Kershaw was saying, well, 2-0. I don't think you got to give in to this guy. I think you got to throw him another curveball. And boom, the guy would throw a curveball. And the ABC, the strike zone thing is working out really well.
Yeah, it's working out.
Did you see the guy that started the game and he got 5 straight wrong to start the game? I mean, that just goes to show you how bad, and it's not even their fault. I mean, it's coming at 100 miles an hour, and these balls are moving. It's a difficult gig. It really is. I'm all in favor.
Catchers are great at framing it.
Yeah, they are. And you know what I've always wondered, and I just finally realized, and I used to be an umpire, and I finally realized it, because I think catchers snatch it and move it back into the zone. I always wonder, I think you can get a better deal if you just held it right where you caught it. But what the deal is, the umpire doesn't see you snatch it back there. He just sees it where it ends up. He's looking at the pitch, and he doesn't see that little snatch. And he sees, well, he caught it in the strike zone. I guess that's a strike. But there was one umpire yesterday who got 5 straight wrong in the first couple of innings. I don't know. What do you think of that? I would tell my players, let's ease off on the first, second inning appeals. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you are in a situation to knock in a few runs, I agree with you.
Right. If there's runners on second and third and you're going to load the bases, okay, maybe
exactly.
then. Or if the bases are loaded and it's a 3-2 count, maybe then. But if there's nobody on base and it's the second inning, don't use that then. You don't need that, because you lose it, you get 2. You lose it if you're wrong. You maintain it if you win. And then if it goes into extras, each team gets 1 if you don't have 1 going into the extra innings. And only the pitcher, catcher, and the hitter can do it, and they've got to do it immediately. So there's no signaling from the dugout where they can watch it. Got to do it immediately. Seems to be working out pretty well. Want to thank our good friend Jeff Salters. Donna Rowe will be at the Portrait of a Warrior Gallery tomorrow. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Monday.
This is AM 1180 KERN, Green Acres. Cheers. This is 96.1 FM. Bakersfield. Online at KERNradio.com.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. For the second time this week, President Trump postponed his deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
On Monday, the president extended his deadline until Friday, but now he's giving Iran another 10 days to cooperate and reopen the Strait of Hormuz by April 6th. He said he was delaying an attack on Iran's power plants because talks aimed at ending the war are going, in his words, very well. However, Iran continues to say it is not negotiating with the U.S. and has rejected a 15-point proposal from the White House. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Attacks have appeared to intensify in the war in the Middle East, including strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities and an Iranian missile attack that wounded U.S. service members and damaged planes at a base in Saudi Arabia. Austria's governing coalition has announced plans to ban social media for children under 14, joining a string of countries with parallel restrictions.
Australia in 2024 took the lead, becoming the first country to eject children under 16 from social media. In Europe, lawmakers in France approved a bill banning social media for children under 15, paving the way for the measure to start in September. Spain last month announced plans for its social media ban for under 16s. At a news conference in Vienna, Austrian Vice Chancellor Andras Babler explains the risks associated with excessive social media use range from low self-esteem and addictive behavior to cyberbullying, which is to say mobbing, loneliness, and in the most tragic cases, even suicide. I'm Charles Ledesma.
Another rough day on Wall Street with the Dow down by 793 points, the Nasdaq dropping 459, with the S&P 500 lower by 108. More at townhall.com.
Health insurance.